Picture this. You're standing in a pitch-black chamber deep beneath the earth, on the ancient island of Malta. The air is thick, heavy with the scent of stone and secrets. You whisper, and your voice doesn't just echo, it booms, reverberating through your bones as if the walls themselves are alive, chanting back at you. This is the Hypogeum of Vatal-Saflieni, a subterranean labyrinth carved over 5,000 years ago. But here's the chilling part. Among the thousands of skeletons unearthed in its depths, archaeologists found something that defies explanation. Dozens of elongated skulls, stretched and distorted, looking less like human remains and more like relics of an alien race. Stranger still, these skulls vanished from record, spirited away into the shadows of history. Were they hidden to protect a truth too shocking for the world? Are they proof of a lost civilization, a hybrid species, or something even more unthinkable? What kind of power did the ancient builders wield to create a place where sound itself seems to open a doorway to another realm? These questions grip you, don't they? They linger, like the low hum that still resonates in the Hypogeum's oracle room. A chamber where a single note at 110 Hz can send shivers through your soul, blurring the line between reality and something beyond. Imagine standing there, your voice amplified by the stone, feeling as if you're speaking to the dead or something far older. What did the people who built this place know? Were they communing with gods, ancestors, or entities we can't even name? And those elongated skulls, what secrets did they carry? Were they priests, shamans, or perhaps descendants of beings not from this earth? The answers are buried, perhaps deliberately, leaving us to wonder, is the Hypogeum a tomb, a temple, or a portal to a forgotten chapter of humanity? Let's step back and unravel this enigma. The Hypogeum, discovered by accident in 1902 when a worker's pickaxe broke through its ceiling, is no ordinary archaeological site. Carved into solid limestone, it spans 3 levels, a sprawling 500 square meters of chambers and passages. Over 7,000 human remains were found here, suggesting it was a necropolis for an entire community, used for centuries during Malta's temple period, roughly 4,000 to 2,500 years before the Common Era. But it's not just the scale that stuns, it's the precision. The smooth walls, curved ceilings, and intricate carvings suggest a mastery of stonework that challenges what we believe about Neolithic peoples. These were not crude cave dwellers. They were architects of the sacred, builders of a place that feels alive with purpose. Now, about those elongated skulls. Early reports from archaeologists like Themistocles Zammit, who excavated the site, described finding crania that were unnaturally long, with shapes that seemed almost inhuman. Some accounts claim there were dozens, perhaps hundreds, scattered among the bones. These discoveries sparked whispers of a cover-up, when many of the skulls reportedly disappeared from museums and records by the mid-20th century. Were they stolen? Hidden? Destroyed? A few remain on display at Malta's National Museum of Archaeology, their elongated forms drawing gasps from visitors. Science offers an explanation: cranial deformation, a practice where infants' heads were bound with cloth or boards to elongate them, common in cultures from Peru's Paracas to ancient Egypt. It was a mark of status, beauty, or spiritual significance. But in the Hypogeum, the context feels different. Why would a society so obsessed with death and ritual alter their skulls this way? Were they mimicking a revered ancestor, a deity, or something else entirely? Theories abound, and they're not all grounded in science. Some claim these skulls belong to a lost race, perhaps the Nephilim of biblical lore giants born of fallen angels and human women. Others, inspired by ancient astronaut theories, argue they're evidence of extraterrestrial influence, a hybrid species that walked among early humans. The increased cranial capacity of some elongated skulls, documented in studies from South America, fuels speculation about enhanced intelligence or psychic abilities. Could these individuals have been oracles, chosen for their unique physiology to lead rituals in the Hypogeum? Recent efforts, like a 2019 study by Heritage Malta, aim to analyze these skulls using deoxyribonucleic acid and 3-dimensional scanning, but results are slow to emerge. The lack of transparency only deepens the mystery. If these skulls are human, why the secrecy? If they're not, what does that mean for our understanding of history? Then there's the sound, the haunting, bone-rattling sound of the Hypogeum. The oracle room, a small chamber carved with deliberate precision, acts like a natural amplifier. Speak or chant at the right pitch, around 110 Hz, and the room responds, magnifying your voice into a deep, resonant hum that seems to vibrate the very air. Researchers, including Ruben Zara and an Italian acoustical team, have measured this effect, finding that low frequencies are amplified in a way that modern concert halls can only dream of. But here's the kicker. This frequency isn't just a quirk. Studies in archaeoacoustics show that 110 Hz aligns with the brain's theta waves, linked to deep meditation, hypnosis, even hallucinations. People exposed to these tones report feelings of awe, disorientation, or spiritual connection. Imagine a priest chanting in that chamber, the sound enveloping worshippers, transporting them to a trance-like state. Was this intentional? Did the builders of the Hypogeum know how to manipulate sound to alter consciousness? The implications are staggering. If the elongated skulls belonged to ritual leaders, their modified crania might have been designed to enhance sensitivity to these vibrations. Some speculate that larger cranial volumes could amplify neural responses, making these individuals ideal conduits for mystical experiences. Early explorers of the Hypogeum reported physical sensations, vibrations in their chests, a sense of being watched or spoken to. Even today, visitors describe chills, whispers, or an overwhelming presence in the oracle room. Is this just the power of suggestion, or did the ancient Maltese tap into something primal, something that connects the physical world to the spiritual? This brings us to a broader question. What was the Hypogeum's true purpose? A burial site, yes, but also a temple, a place where the living met the dead. The elongated skulls and the acoustic marvels suggest a society far more advanced than we give them credit for. Malta itself is a treasure trove of prehistoric wonders, with over 30 megalithic temples predating Egypt's pyramids and England's Stonehenge. The Hypogeum, hidden beneath the earth, feels like the heart of this ancient world, a place where secrets were guarded, perhaps from those not meant to know. Could it be linked to a global network of ancient sites, all harnessing similar technologies? Are the skulls and sounds clues to a civilization that history has erased? These mysteries refuse to let go. The vanished skulls, the living echoes, the craftsmanship that defies time, they all point to a past we don't fully understand. What truths lie buried in Malta's stone? Are we looking at the remnants of a forgotten people, or something far stranger? As the echoes of the Hypogeum fade, they leave us with more questions than answers, pulling us deeper into the enigma. I'm Mr. H, your guide through these shadows of history on Mystery History for Sleep. If this journey has stirred your curiosity, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown. Let these mysteries linger in your mind, perhaps guiding you into dreams of ancient worlds. And while you're listening, let me know in the comments, where are you joining us from, and what time is it there? Whether it's midnight in New York or dawn in Tokyo, I'd love to hear where these ancient whispers reach you. Rest easy, and let the echoes carry you into the night. Let us step back to the year 1902, on the sun-drenched island of Malta, where the Mediterranean Sea laps gently against rugged cliffs. The town of Paola bustles with the rhythm of early 20th century life. Horse-drawn carts clatter along dusty streets, and workers toil to build new homes for a growing population. One such worker, a man whose name history has all but forgotten, swings his pickaxe into the earth, aiming to carve out a cistern for a modest house. The limestone yields easily, as it has for centuries, but this time, something extraordinary happens. His tool breaks through the ground, and instead of solid rock, it reveals a void, a dark, yawning chasm hidden beneath the surface. The worker peers into the hole, his lantern casting flickering shadows, and what he sees changes our understanding of human history forever. He has stumbled upon the Hypogeum of Lasaflieni, a subterranean marvel untouched for millennia, a place where the past whispers secrets too profound to grasp in that fleeting moment. This accidental discovery marks the beginning of one of archaeology's most enigmatic tales. The worker, likely unaware of the magnitude of his find, alerts his superiors, and soon, word spreads to Malta's scholarly community. Archaeologists, led by the esteemed Themistocles Zammit, descend upon the site, their excitement tempered by the realization that they are stepping into a world unlike any other. The Hypogeum is not a simple cave or a crude burial pit. It is a masterpiece of prehistoric engineering, a labyrinth carved into solid limestone, stretching across 3 levels and over 500 square meters. Its chambers, passages, and alcoves are meticulously crafted, with smooth walls and curved ceilings that seem to defy the capabilities of a society armed only with stone tools. As the team ventures deeper, they uncover the remains of over 7,000 individuals, their bones carefully arranged, suggesting a sacred purpose, a necropolis, a temple, or perhaps something even more mysterious. The story of this discovery is steeped in intrigue from the outset. The workers' accidental breach was not supposed to happen. The Hypogeum had remained hidden, sealed away since the end of Malta's temple period around 2,500 years before the Common Era. Its entrance, obscured by time and earth, suggests that the ancient Maltese intended to protect this place, perhaps to guard its secrets from outsiders. Early reports from 1903, published in local newspapers and later in journals like the Antiquaries Journal, describe the astonishment of those first explorers. They found chambers adorned with red ochre paintings, swirling spirals that seemed to symbolize life, death, or the cosmos itself. They discovered niches that might have held offerings or statues, and a central chamber, the oracle room, where sound behaves in ways that defy explanation, as if the stone itself is alive, responding to human voices. But the initial excitement was tinged with unease. Among the thousands of skeletons, archaeologists noted something peculiar: skulls that were not quite human in appearance. These were the elongated skulls, their crania stretched and distorted, some with capacities larger than typical human skulls. Zammit's early notes, preserved in Malta's archives, mention dozens of these anomalies, their shapes sparking immediate debate. Were they the result of deliberate cranial deformation, a cultural practice seen in distant lands like Peru or Egypt, or did they belong to a distinct group, perhaps a priestly caste, or a lineage with unique genetic traits? The workers who first entered the Hypogeum whispered of other finds, tools, pottery, and small figurines resembling the Sleeping Lady statues found in nearby temples, suggesting a connection to fertility or death rituals. Yet, some of these artifacts, particularly the skulls, were said to have been removed quickly, stored in crates, and sent to undisclosed locations, fueling rumors of a cover-up. This sense of secrecy only deepens the mystery. By the 1920s, articles in publications like National Geographic mentioned the elongated skulls, but by the 1950s, many had vanished from public view. Some claim they were lost during the chaos of World War II, when Malta endured heavy bombardment. Others whisper of deliberate suppression, suggesting that the skulls challenged accepted narratives about human origins. Could they have been evidence of a forgotten race, or even, as some fringe theorists propose, descendants of extraterrestrial visitors? The lack of clear documentation from those early days leaves room for speculation. A 1985 inventory by the National Museum of Archaeology in Valletta confirmed that a few elongated skulls remained, but their numbers were far fewer than initially reported. Modern studies, including a 2019 initiative by Heritage Malta, aim to analyze these remains using deoxyribonucleic acid testing, but results remain elusive, keeping the mystery alive. The Hypogeum's discovery also raised questions about its builders. The Temple period Maltese, flourishing between 4,000 and 2,500 years before the Common Era, were a Neolithic people who left behind a legacy of megalithic structures, temples like Ifgantiya and Arja-Kim, older than Egypt's pyramids, or England's Stonehenge. Yet, the Hypogeum stands apart, a subterranean counterpart to these surface monuments. Its construction required not just skill but vision. The builders excavated tons of limestone, shaping chambers with precision that suggests an intimate knowledge of acoustics and architecture. The oracle room, with its ability to amplify low-frequency sounds, hints at a purpose beyond mere burial. Early excavators reported feeling disoriented, their voices echoing unnaturally, as if the space was designed to manipulate sound for ritual purposes. Some speculated that the Hypogeum was a sanctuary for oracles or shamans, where the living could commune with the dead or divine the future. These initial findings sparked a wave of theories, some grounded, others fantastical. Mainstream archaeologists, like Zammit, saw the Hypogeum as a sacred site, a place where the Maltese honored their ancestors through elaborate ceremonies. The presence of red ochre, often associated with blood or life in ancient cultures, supports this view, as do the figurines resembling fertility deities. But others, even in those early days, wondered if the site held a deeper secret. Local folklore spoke of underground passages stretching far beyond the known chambers, perhaps connecting to other temples, or even to the sea. Stories circulated of workers hearing faint whispers or feeling unseen presences, as if the Hypogeum was still inhabited by the spirits of its creators. Conspiracy theorists seized on these tales, suggesting that the Hypogeum was more than a temple. It was a relic of a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis or a pre-flood society with advanced knowledge. The elongated skulls became a focal point, with some claiming they were not human but hybrids, their disappearance orchestrated to hide evidence of extraterrestrial contact. These ideas, while unsupported by hard evidence, were fueled by the site's otherworldly atmosphere. Excavators described an almost palpable energy, a sense that the Hypogeum was designed to evoke awe or fear. The fact that it was sealed for thousands of years only adds to the intrigue. Why hide such a place? Was it to protect sacred knowledge, or to conceal something the world was not meant to know? The early days of exploration also brought practical challenges. The Hypogeum's delicate environment, its humidity, its fragile paintings required careful preservation. By 1910, the site was open to limited visitors, but unrestricted access led to damage, prompting stricter controls. This limited access fed suspicions that authorities were withholding information. Why restrict study of a site so significant? Were they protecting the Hypogeum, or something within it? These questions lingered as the site became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980, cementing its status as a global treasure, yet one that remains partially shrouded in mystery. As we reflect on this moment of discovery, we stand at the threshold of a greater enigma. The Hypogeum, with its vanished skulls and echoing chambers, challenges us to rethink what we know about our ancestors. Were they simple farmers, or did they possess knowledge we've lost to time? Did they bury their dead here to honor them, or to keep them contained? The accidental breach in 1902 opened not just a physical space, but a Pandora's box of questions, each one pulling us deeper into the unknown. I'm Mr. H. I'd love to hear from you in the comments what mysteries intrigue you most. Let these echoes linger as you drift into a peaceful night's rest. Step with me now into the heart of the Hypogeum of Paalsaflieni, where the very stones seem to pulse with the secrets of a forgotten age. As we descend deeper into this subterranean marvel on the island of Malta, the world above fades, replaced by a labyrinth of chambers and passages carved over 5,000 years ago. This is no crude cave, no haphazard shelter scratched out of the earth. The Hypogeum is a masterpiece of prehistoric architecture, a testament to a people whose ingenuity defies everything we thought we knew about the Neolithic era. Picture yourself surrounded by smooth limestone walls, their surfaces adorned with intricate patterns, their curves sculpted with a precision that feels almost otherworldly. This is a place where every corner, every alcove, whispers of purpose, ritual, reverence, or perhaps something far stranger. How did a society with only stone tools create such a wonder? And what mysteries lie within its meticulously crafted chambers? The Hypogeum spans 3 distinct levels, each descending deeper into the earth, covering an astonishing 500 square meters. The upper level, closest to the surface, greets you with wide, open spaces, their walls polished to a smoothness that catches the flicker of torchlight. As you move downward to the middle level, the passages narrow, twisting into a maze of rooms connected by arched doorways. The lowest level, the deepest and most enigmatic, feels like a descent into the underworld itself, with tight, claustrophobic corridors leading to chambers shrouded in shadow. This tri-level structure, carved between approximately 4,000 and 2,500 years before the Common Era, is unlike anything else from its time. Its complexity rivals the great megalithic temples above ground, like Ivgantija and the Jarkim, yet its subterranean nature sets it apart, as if it were meant to be hidden from the world. The architecture alone is breathtaking. The builders, part of Malta's temple period culture, used nothing more than flint and obsidian tools to excavate tons of limestone, shaping it with a precision that modern engineers marvel at. The walls are not rough-hewn but smooth to a near-mirror finish in places, their curves mimicking the organic forms of caves yet executed with deliberate artistry. Ceilings are vaulted, some carved to resemble the corbelled roofs of above-ground temples, as if the Hypogeum were a mirror of the sacred spaces under the sun. Archaeologists like David Trump have noted this architectural mimicry, suggesting that the Hypogeum was designed to replicate domestic or temple structures, but amplified for a higher purpose, perhaps to house the dead or commune with the divine. Among the most striking features are the decorative elements. Many chambers are adorned with red ochre paintings, their swirling spirals and geometric patterns spiraling across the stone like a cosmic script. These designs, found in the middle level's main chamber, evoke themes of life, death, and rebirth, common motifs in Neolithic art. The red ochre, often associated with blood or vitality in ancient cultures, hints at rituals tied to fertility or the afterlife. Some patterns resemble the petals of a flower or the coils of a serpent, symbols that appear in other Maltese temples and suggest a reverence for natural cycles. But there's a question that lingers. Were these merely decorative, or did they hold a deeper meaning? Could they be a map, a code, or even a form of writing lost to time? The absence of written records from this period leaves us guessing, and the pattern's hypnotic quality only deepens the mystery. The chambers themselves are a study in purpose and design. The main chamber, often called the Holy of Holies, is a focal point of the middle level. Its circular shape and high, domed ceiling create an almost cathedral-like atmosphere, though on a smaller scale. Niches carved into the walls likely held offerings or statues, perhaps of the fertility goddesses depicted in the sleeping lady figurines found at nearby temples. These figurines, with their exaggerated curves, suggest a cult of motherhood or creation, and their presence in the Hypogeum implies a connection between the living and the dead, mediated by divine figures. Other rooms, like the decorated room, feature more intricate ochre designs, their spirals seeming to dance in the flickering light. Each space feels intentional, as if the builders were crafting an experience, guiding visitors through a journey of spiritual significance. But it's not just the aesthetics that captivate, it's the sheer audacity of the construction. The Hypogeum required moving thousands of tons of rock, a feat that would challenge modern machinery. The builders worked in near darkness, their only light from oil lamps or torches, yet achieved a level of symmetry and alignment that suggests advanced planning. Some chambers align with celestial events, much like the above-ground temples, which are oriented to solstices or equinoxes. For example, studies by archaeoastronomer Frank Ventura suggest that certain passages in the Hypogeum may align with the rising sun on specific dates, casting light into otherwise dark spaces. This raises a tantalizing question. Did the Maltese understand astronomy in ways we've underestimated? Were they mapping the stars underground, creating a cosmic mirror beneath the earth? The precision of the Hypogeum's design has sparked speculation that goes beyond mainstream archaeology. Some theorists, like those inspired by Graham Hancock, argue that such sophistication points to a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis or a pre-flood society with advanced knowledge. The smooth walls and vaulted ceilings, they claim, suggest techniques beyond the reach of Neolithic tools, perhaps involving acoustic levitation or other lost technologies. While these ideas lack hard evidence, they gain traction from the Hypogeum's sheer anomaly. How did a small island population, isolated in the Mediterranean, achieve this without external influence? The absence of metal tools or written records only fuels the mystery, as does the site's acoustic properties, which we'll explore further in later segments. Another layer of intrigue comes from the Hypogeum's connection to the elongated skulls mentioned earlier. If these skulls belonged to a priestly or elite class, as some suggest, their presence in such a meticulously crafted space implies a special role. Were they the architects, the visionaries who designed this underground temple? The chamber's design, with niches and altars, suggests spaces for ritual leaders, Perhaps those with altered crania were seen as closer to the divine, their elongated heads a mark of their sacred status. Some speculate that the spirals on the walls mimic the shape of the brain or skull, tying the architecture to the physical form of these individuals. This idea, while speculative, adds a haunting dimension. A temple built not just for the dead, but by and for a people who saw themselves as different, perhaps chosen. The Hypogeum's isolation adds to its enigma. Unlike surface temples which stand proudly under the sky, this complex was hidden, sealed away for millennia. Was this intentional, a way to protect sacred knowledge or rituals from outsiders? The entrance, rediscovered only by chance, suggests a deliberate concealment. Local legends speak of deeper, unexplored passages, perhaps stretching beneath the island, or even to the sea. While excavations have mapped much of the site, restricted access due to preservation concerns leaves room for speculation. Could there be chambers still undiscovered, holding artifacts or inscriptions that could rewrite history? The Maltese government's strict control over the site, limiting visitors to small groups, only heightens the sense that something is being guarded. As we wander these chambers in our minds, the Hypogeum feels alive. Its walls are canvas for ancient stories. The spirals, the niches, the vaulted ceilings, they all point to a people who saw this place as more than a tomb. It was a sanctuary, a bridge between worlds, where the living could touch the eternal. But what drove them to create it? Was it devotion, fear, or knowledge we can scarcely imagine? The architecture itself seems to ask these questions, its perfection a challenge to our understanding of the past. Imagine standing in the heart of the Hypogeum of Saflieni, deep beneath the sunlit shores of Malta, surrounded by ancient limestone walls that seem to pulse with a life of their own. You take a deep breath and let out a low hum, a sound barely above a whisper, but instead of fading, your voice grows, amplified into a resonant boom that vibrates through your chest, your bones, your very soul. The chamber around you responds, as if it were designed to capture and enhance your sound, turning it into something otherworldly. This is the Oracle Room, a sacred space within the Hypogeum, where sound behaves in ways that defy explanation, where a single note at 110 Hz can transport you to the edge of reality itself. What kind of power did the ancient Maltese wield to create such a phenomenon? And what does it reveal about their understanding of the human mind, the spirit, or perhaps the cosmos? The Hypogeum, carved between 4,000 and 2,500 years before the Common Era, is already a marvel of prehistoric architecture, with its labyrinthine passages and intricately decorated chambers. But it is the Oracle Room, nestled in the middle level of this subterranean complex, that holds one of its most astonishing secrets. This small, oval-shaped chamber, with its smooth walls and curved ceiling, acts as a natural amplifier for sound, particularly low-frequency tones in the range of 95 to 120 Hz, with a peak at 110 Hz. Speak or chant in this room, and your voice is transformed, magnified into a deep, resonant hum that seems to emanate from the stone itself. Early explorers, including archaeologists like Themistocles Zammit in the early 1900s, described the effect as uncanny, as if the chamber were alive, responding to human presence with a voice of its own. Modern science has begun to unravel this phenomenon through the field of archaeoacoustics, which studies how ancient sites interact with sound. Researchers, including Maltese composer Ruben Zara and an Italian team led by Paolo De Bertolis, conducted experiments in the Hypogeum during the early 2000s, using precise instruments to measure its acoustic properties. Their findings were staggering. The Oracle Room's architecture enhances low-frequency sounds in a way that modern concert halls struggle to replicate. The chamber's shape, with its concave surfaces and precise angles, creates a resonance effect, amplifying certain frequencies while dampening others. A tone at 110 Hz, roughly the pitch of a deep male voice or a low drum, reverberates with such intensity that it can be felt physically, vibrating through the body of anyone standing nearby. But this is more than a quirk of architecture. It's a window into the minds of the Hypogeum's builders. The frequency of 110 Hz is significant, not just for its acoustic power, but for its effect on the human brain. Studies in neuroscience, such as those conducted by researchers like Andrew Newberg, show that low-frequency sounds in this range stimulate the brain's theta waves, which are associated with deep meditation, trance states, and even hallucinations. Participants exposed to these frequencies often report feelings of euphoria, disorientation, or a sense of connection to something greater than themselves. In the oracle room, this effect is amplified by the enclosed space, where sound waves bounce and build, creating an immersive sensory experience. Imagine a priest or shaman chanting in this chamber, their voice resonating at precisely the right pitch, enveloping worshippers in a soundscape that blurs the line between the physical and the spiritual. Could the ancient Maltese have known this? Did they design the oracle room to manipulate consciousness, to induce altered states for ritual purposes? The precision of the chamber's construction suggests intent. The walls are not merely smooth but sculpted with a curvature that enhances resonance. And a small niche in the oracle room, sometimes called the speaking tube, focuses sound even further, as if designed for a single voice to project across the space. Archaeologists like David Trump have noted that the Hypogeum's architecture mirrors the above-ground temples of Malta, which were also built with ritual in mind, but the oracle room's acoustic properties set it apart. It's as if the builders understood the physics of sound in ways we're only now beginning to appreciate, crafting a space where the human voice could become a tool of transcendence. This possibility raises haunting questions. Were the rituals conducted here meant to communicate with the dead, as the presence of over 7,000 skeletons suggests? Or were they reaching for something else, gods, spirits, or entities beyond our understanding? The Hypogeum's role as a necropolis and temple implies a deep connection to the afterlife, and the oracle room's acoustics may have been central to those beliefs. Picture a ceremony where priests, perhaps those with the elongated skulls we discussed earlier, chanted in unison, their voices amplified by the stone, creating a sonic bridge to the divine. The sound might have been accompanied by drums or other instruments, tuned to the same frequency, enveloping participants in a wave of vibration that felt like a conversation with the cosmos. But the mystery deepens when we consider alternative theories. Some fringe researchers, inspired by figures like Erich von Daniken, propose that the Hypogeum's acoustic properties point to a lost technology, perhaps inherited from a civilization far older than the Maltese temple period. They suggest the oracle room was not just a ritual space but a device, designed to harness sound for purposes we can scarcely imagine: communication with extraterrestrial beings, psychic enhancement, or even healing. While these ideas lack concrete evidence, they draw support from the Hypogeum's sheer anomaly. How could a Neolithic society, without metal tools or written language, create a chamber with such precise acoustic engineering? The red ochre spirals painted on the walls, resembling sound waves or brain patterns, add fuel to the speculation. Could they symbolize the vibrations that filled this space, a visual representation of the invisible power of sound? Conspiracy theorists take this further, linking the Hypogeum to a global network of ancient sites with similar acoustic properties. Structures like Newgrange in Ireland, Chavin de Huantar in Peru, and even the Great Pyramid of Giza exhibit resonance effects, amplifying low frequencies in ways that suggest intentional design. Some propose that these sites formed a prehistoric sound network used for rituals, communication, or even energy generation. The idea of acoustic levitation, while far-fetched, persists in these circles, with claims that ancient peoples used sound to move massive stones, explaining the Hypogeum's flawless construction. While mainstream science dismisses such theories, the oracle room's measurable effects keep the door open to speculation. After all, modern experiments, like those conducted in 2014 at the University of Malta, confirm that standing in the chamber during a 110 Hz tone can alter heart rate and brain activity, effects the ancients may have intuited. The connection to the elongated skulls adds another layer of intrigue. If these skulls belong to a priestly class, as some archaeologists suggest, their altered crania might have been designed to enhance sensitivity to these vibrations. Studies of cranial deformation, such as those on Paracas skulls in Peru, show increased cranial volume in some cases, potentially affecting neural pathways. Could the Hypogeum's builders have selected individuals with such skulls to lead rituals, their physiology making them ideal conduits for the chamber's sonic power? Visitors to the Hypogeum today limited to small groups due to preservation concerns, often report physical sensations, tingling, pressure, or a sense of presence when standing in the oracle room. These accounts echo early reports from 1910, when excavators described feeling vibrations in their bodies, as if the stone were speaking. Yet, skepticism remains. Some argue the acoustic effects are coincidental, a byproduct of the chamber's natural shape rather than deliberate design. Limestone, with its porous structure, naturally resonates at low frequencies, and the oracle room's dimensions may simply amplify this effect. But the precision of the carvings, smooth walls, curved ceilings, and the speaking tube suggests more than chance. The Maltese built over 30 megalithic temples, many aligned with celestial events, indicating a sophisticated understanding of their environment. Why not sound as well? The oracle room's ability to transform a human voice into a divine echo feels like a deliberate act, a way to make the mortal sacred. Were the builders merely creating a space for worship, or were they tapping into a universal force, one that connects sound, mind, and spirit? The 110 Hz frequency, with its power to alter consciousness, feels like a message from 5,000 years ago, a whisper from a people who knew more than we credit them for. What did they hear in these echoes? What did they see when the sound enveloped them? The archaeological evidence points to a primary role as a burial site. The thousands of skeletons, carefully arranged in chambers across the Hypogeum's 3 levels, indicate that this was a communal necropolis, used over centuries by the Temple period Maltese. These remains, often accompanied by pottery, beads, and small figurines, suggest a culture deeply invested in honoring their dead. The presence of red ochre, a pigment associated with blood and life in many ancient societies, hints at rituals tied to the afterlife or rebirth. Niches carved into the walls, particularly in the main chamber, likely held offerings or statues, such as the sleeping lady figurines found in nearby temples, which symbolize fertility or eternal rest. These artifacts paint a picture of a society that saw death not as an end, but as a transition, with the Hypogeum serving as a sacred space to guide souls to the next world. But the Hypogeum's role as a burial site is only part of the story. The oracle room, with its ability to amplify low-frequency sounds at 110 Hz, suggests that rituals here were not merely symbolic but experiential. Imagine a ceremony where priests or shamans, possibly those with the elongated skulls we discussed earlier, chanted or drummed in this chamber, their voices transformed into a resonant hum that enveloped participants. The vibrations, known to induce trance-like states, could have created a sense of communion with the divine or the departed. Archaeologists like David Trump propose that the Hypogeum was a temple as much as a tomb, a place where the living performed rituals to honor ancestors or seek guidance from spiritual forces. The red ochre spirals, resembling cosmic or natural cycles, support this idea, suggesting ceremonies tied to life, death, and the eternal. Yet, the Hypogeum's atmosphere invites speculation that goes beyond mainstream archaeology. The sheer number of remains, over 7,000, raises questions about the scale of its use. Were these individuals all buried here as part of standard funerary practices, or could some have been part of sacrificial rituals? While no direct evidence of human sacrifice exists, the concentration of bones in certain chambers, combined with the site's eerie acoustics, has led some to wonder if the Hypogeum was a place of offerings to appease gods or spirits. Local legends, recorded in the early 20th century, speak of priests conducting ceremonies in total darkness, guided only by sound and touch, as if the Hypogeum were a stage for rituals meant to transcend the physical world. This brings us to a more provocative theory. Could the Hypogeum have been a portal, a gateway to another dimension? Some fringe researchers, drawing on the site's acoustic properties and the elongated skulls, propose that it was designed to connect with other realms. The oracle room's 110 Hz frequency, known to alter consciousness, could have been used to induce visions or out-of-body experiences, allowing priests to travel beyond the physical plane. The elongated skulls, with their potentially increased cranial capacity, might have belonged to individuals chosen for their ability to navigate these states, acting as shamans or oracles. This idea, while speculative, gains traction from reports of modern visitors who describe feeling disoriented, hearing whispers, or sensing an unseen presence in the Hypogeum's chambers. These experiences, often attributed to the site's acoustics, echo ancient accounts of sacred spaces as liminal zones, where the veil between worlds grows thin. Conspiracy theorists take this further, linking the Hypogeum to myths of Atlantis or pre-flood civilizations. They suggest it was a remnant of a lost society that mastered technologies of sound and consciousness, perhaps using the oracle room as a device to communicate with extraterrestrial beings or divine entities. The spirals on the walls, some argue, resemble sound waves or even interdimensional patterns, a visual code for the Hypogeum's true purpose. While mainstream science dismisses these claims, the site's precision, its smooth walls, aligned passages, and acoustic engineering lends a certain plausibility to the idea that its builders possessed knowledge we've yet to fully understand. Could the Hypogeum have been a kind of cosmic machine, its vibrations a key to unlocking hidden dimensions? The connection to the elongated skulls adds intrigue. If these skulls belong to a priestly class, their altered crania might have been a mark of their role as intermediaries between worlds. Studies of cranial deformation, like those conducted on similar skulls in Peru, suggest that such modifications could enhance sensitivity to certain stimuli, including sound. In the Hypogeum, these individuals might have led rituals, their voices amplified by the oracle room, guiding participants into a shared spiritual experience. The idea of a portal, while fantastical, resonates with the Hypogeum's otherworldly atmosphere, where every echo feels like a message from beyond. Yet, we must temper these theories with caution. The Hypogeum's role as a burial and ritual site is well supported by artifacts and skeletal evidence, and the acoustic effects, while remarkable, can be explained by the natural properties of limestone and the chamber's design. Still, the sheer sophistication of the site built by a Neolithic people with limited tools challenges us to consider what they valued and why. The Hypogeum was not just a place to store the dead, it was a space to engage with the eternal, to confront the mysteries of existence. Whether a temple, a tomb, or a portal, it remains a testament to a people who saw death as a journey and sound as a guide. As we stand in these ancient chambers, the Hypogeum's purpose remains elusive, a riddle carved in stone. Were its rituals meant to honor the dead, to seek divine wisdom, or to pierce the fabric of reality itself? The answers lie in the echoes, in the spirals, in the bones of those long gone. The Hypogeum invites us to listen, to feel, and to wonder what truths its creators carried into the darkness. I'm Mr. H, guiding you through these mysteries on Mystery History for Sleep. If these questions stir your imagination, share your thoughts in the comments. Where are you listening from? And what time is it in your corner of the world? Is it twilight in London, midday in Sydney, or the quiet hours elsewhere? Let me know, and let these ancient secrets weave their way into your dreams tonight. Beneath Malta's rugged landscape, rumors persist of a vast network of hidden tunnels, a labyrinth extending beyond the known boundaries of this sacred site. Some say these passages link the Hypogeum to other ancient structures on the island, while others dare to suggest they connect to far-flung monuments across the globe, forming a web of lost knowledge that binds humanity's deepest past. Could the Hypogeum be part of a global network of ancient sites, a remnant of a forgotten civilization that spanned continents? The Hypogeum, its 3 levels, spanning over 500 square meters, house chambers that resonate with sound and symbolism, suggesting a purpose beyond mere burial or worship. Yet, local folklore and early archaeological reports hint at something more, a network of tunnels extending beneath Malta, perhaps linking the Hypogeum to other megalithic sites like the temples of Haugantia, Ajarkim, and Menidra. These above-ground temples, older than Egypt's pyramids and England's Stonehenge, share a similar reverence for cosmic alignment, with doorways and altars oriented to solstices and equinoxes. But what if the connection goes deeper, literally beneath the earth? Stories from the early 20th century, recorded by excavators like Themistocles Zamet, mention workers encountering passages that seem to stretch beyond the Hypogeum's mapped boundaries, only to be sealed off or left unexplored due to safety concerns. These tales of hidden tunnels are not mere fantasy. Malta's limestone bedrock is naturally riddled with caves and fissures, and the island's history is rich with subterranean discoveries. In 1940, during World War II, air raid shelters dug beneath Valletta revealed ancient passages, some containing pottery and bones from the temple period. Local legends, passed down through generations, speak of secret tunnels connecting sacred sites, used by priests or initiates to move unseen between temples. Some even claim these passages reach the sea, emerging in hidden coves or underwater caves. While modern excavations, limited by the Hypogeum's delicate environment and UNESCO restrictions, have not confirmed an extensive tunnel network, the possibility remains tantalizing. Ground-penetrating radar studies conducted in the early 2000s detected anomalies beneath Malta's temples, hinting at uncharted voids. Could these be the remnants of a larger system, a subterranean counterpart to the island's megalithic wonders? The idea of a tunnel network gains intrigue when we consider Malta's broader archaeological context. The island hosts over 30 megalithic sites, all built during the same period as the Hypogeum, suggesting a highly organized society with a shared spiritual vision. The temple's precise alignments with celestial events, documented by archaeoastronomers like Frank Ventura, imply a deep understanding of the cosmos. If the Hypogeum was a central sanctuary, its tunnels might have served as sacred pathways, allowing priests to travel between sites in secret, perhaps carrying out rituals that linked the underworld to the heavens. The discovery of red ochre paintings in the Hypogeum, mirroring those in above-ground temples, strengthens this connection, as does the presence of similar artifacts, like the Sleeping Lady figurines, across multiple sites. But the question lingers, why go to such lengths to hide these passages? Were they protecting sacred knowledge, or something more profound? This brings us to a bolder hypothesis, one that stretches beyond Malta to a global scale. Some researchers, particularly those in alternative archaeology circles, propose that the Hypogeum is part of a worldwide network of ancient sites, each designed with shared principles of architecture, astronomy, or acoustics. Consider the similarities. The Great Pyramid of Giza, with its hidden chambers and precise stellar alignments. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, with its massive pillars predating the Hypogeum by thousands of years. Or Chavinda Huantar in Peru, where underground passages amplify sound much like the Oracle Room. These sites, scattered across continents, share features that seem too deliberate to be coincidence. The Great Pyramid, for instance, has a king's chamber that resonates at low frequencies much like the Hypogeum's Oracle Room. Göbekli Tepe's T-shaped pillars align with constellations, echoing Malta's celestial connections. Could these monuments be nodes in a global grid, built by a lost civilization that understood principles we've yet to rediscover? Fringe theorists, inspired by figures like Graham Hancock, take this idea further, suggesting that the Hypogeum and its tunnels are remnants of a pre-flood civilization, perhaps Atlantis, or a society destroyed by a cataclysm like the Younger Dryas impact event, around 12,000 years before the Common Era. They point to the Hypogeum's acoustic properties, its precise construction, and the elongated skulls as evidence of advanced knowledge, possibly inherited from extraterrestrial visitors or a forgotten human culture. The tunnels, in this view, might have been more than physical pathways. They could have been conduits for energy, knowledge, or even communication across vast distances. Some speculate that the Hypogeum's Oracle Room, with its 110 Hz resonance, was part of a global sound network, linking sacred sites through vibrations that carried messages or power. While mainstream archaeology dismisses such claims, the similarities between these sites separated by thousands of miles and years raise questions that science has yet to fully answer. The elongated skulls found in the Hypogeum add fuel to this speculation. If these skulls belong to a priestly class, as some suggest, their bearers might have been guardians of this network, chosen for their ability to navigate its mysteries. Studies of cranial deformation, like those conducted on Paracas skulls in Peru, show increased cranial capacity in some cases, potentially enhancing sensitivity to sound or other stimuli. Could the Hypogeum's tunnels have been reserved for these individuals, their paths hidden to protect sacred rituals or knowledge? Reports from early excavators including a 1913 account in the Malta Herald, mention workers hearing faint echoes in unexplored passages, as if the tunnels themselves carried voices from the past. Modern visitors, limited to small groups due to preservation concerns, sometimes report similar sensations, a sense of movement or presence in the darkness, as if the tunnels hold secrets still active. Skeptics argue that the idea of a tunnel network, let alone a global one, is speculative at best. Malta's limestone is naturally porous, and many tunnels may be natural caves misidentified as man-made. The Hypogeum's known passages are well documented, and no extensive network has been confirmed by modern technology like ground-penetrating radar. The similarities between global sites could be cultural convergence, ancient peoples independently discovering similar architectural or astronomical principles. Yet, the precision of the Hypogeum's construction, its acoustic engineering, and its alignment with other Maltese temples challenge this view. Why build such a complex underground site only to seal it away? The restricted access, enforced since the site became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980, only deepens the mystery, with some claiming authorities are hiding undiscovered chambers or artifacts. Scattered across Malta's rugged landscape, from the cliffs of Dingley to the fields of San Juan, are the mysterious cart ruts, a network of deep parallel grooves carved into the limestone, stretching for miles like ancient roadways. These ruts, some as deep as 60 centimeters and spaced consistently about 1.4 meters apart, resemble tracks left by heavy carts or sledges. Yet, their purpose and origin remain one of archaeology's greatest puzzles, defying explanation and inviting speculation that ranges from the practical to the fantastical. Are these the remnants of a prehistoric transportation system, or could they be something far stranger, traces of ancient machinery, energy conduits, or even landing strips for otherworldly craft? The cart ruts, sometimes called cart tracks or Clapham junctions due to their crisscrossing patterns, are found across Malta and its sister island, Gozo, with the most famous concentration at Misrach al-Kbir. These grooves, dating back to at least the Temple period, between 4,000 and 2,500 years before the Common Era, are unlike anything else in the ancient world. They appear as pairs of parallel channels, typically 10 to 20 centimeters wide, cut into the limestone with a precision that suggests deliberate intent. Some ruts run straight for hundreds of meters, while others curve, intersect, or plunge abruptly into the sea, as seen at St. George's Bay. Their consistency, maintaining a standard gauge across diverse terrains, implies a standardized system, yet no carts, wheels, or vehicles from the period match their dimensions. This anomaly has puzzled archaeologists for centuries, as the ruts defy the technological capabilities of the Neolithic Maltese, who lacked metal tools and draft animals. Mainstream archaeology offers several theories for the ruts' purpose. The most common suggests they were tracks for sledges or carts used to transport heavy limestone blocks from quarries to construction sites, such as the nearby temples of Hausgantia or Ajar Kim. The Maltese, known for their megalithic architecture, moved massive stones weighing tons, and the ruts could have facilitated this labor, with sledges sliding along greased or wetted tracks. Excavations near the ruts have uncovered quarry sites, supporting this idea, and where patterns in the grooves suggest repeated use. Yet, this explanation falters under scrutiny. The ruts' depth and precision are excessive for simple sledges, and their paths often lead to illogical destinations, cliffs, hills, or underwater, where no practical transport route would end. Moreover, no contemporary artifacts, like wheels or axles, have been found to confirm the use of carts, leaving the theory incomplete. This ambiguity opens the door to more speculative interpretations, which resonate with the mysterious aura of Malta's ancient sites. Some researchers propose that the ruts were not for transportation but for ritual purposes, perhaps guiding processions to sacred sites like the Hypogeum or nearby temples. The ruts' alignment with certain temples, such as Menajdra, which are oriented to celestial events, suggests a symbolic function, possibly linked to agricultural or astronomical cycles. The red ochre paintings in the Hypogeum, with their spiral motifs, mirror patterns found near some rut sites, hinting at a cultural connection. Could the ruts have been ceremonial pathways, guiding priests or worshippers in rituals that tied the land to the cosmos? The idea is compelling, especially given Malta's rich tradition of megalithic temples, but the ruts' sheer number, hundreds across the island, and their impractical routes challenge this view. Enter the realm of alternative theories, where the cart ruts take on an almost otherworldly significance. Fringe researchers, inspired by figures like Erich von Däniken, argue that the ruts are evidence of advanced technology, far beyond the capabilities of the Temple period Maltese. One provocative hypothesis suggests they were tracks for ancient machinery, perhaps powered by energy sources we've yet to rediscover. The ruts' precision and uniformity, some claim, resemble the marks of mechanized vehicles, not unlike modern railway tracks. Their sudden descents into the sea or over cliffs fuel speculation that they were used by amphibious or even airborne craft landing strips or guidance systems for extraterrestrial visitors. Proponents of ancient astronaut theories point to the Hypogeum's acoustic properties and the elongated skulls as further evidence of alien influence, suggesting the ruts were part of a larger technological network operated by a non-human or hybrid civilization. Another tantalizing idea links the ruts to a lost energy grid. Some theorists propose that the grooves were conduits for a form of energy, perhaps electromagnetic or acoustic, used by a prehistoric civilization like Atlantis. The Hypogeum's oracle room, with its 110 Hz resonance, supports this notion, as does the precise alignment of Maltese temples with celestial events. Could the ruts have channeled vibrations or power across the island, connecting sacred sites like the Hypogeum to temples above ground? The underwater ruts at St. George's Bay, submerged since sea levels rose after the last ice age, add intrigue, suggesting they predate the Temple period and may belong to an even older culture. While mainstream science dismisses these ideas for lack of evidence, the ruts' anomalous nature, too precise for primitive tools, too widespread for local use, keeps the speculation alive. The connection to the Hypogeum is particularly striking. Both the ruts and the Hypogeum reflect a culture obsessed with precision and purpose. The Hypogeum's subterranean chambers, with their acoustic engineering and ritual significance, suggest a people who saw the earth as sacred, a vessel for spiritual or cosmic forces. The ruts, sprawling across the surface, could be an extension of this vision, linking the underworld of the Hypogeum to the temples under the sky. Local folklore, recorded in the early 20th century, speaks of tunnels beneath Malta, connecting sacred sites, and some speculate that the ruts mark the surface paths of these hidden networks. A 1964 report in the Malta Independent mentioned workers finding a rut-like groove near the Hypogeum, hinting at a physical link, though excavations were halted due to structural concerns. Skeptics, however, urge caution. The ruts could be the result of natural erosion or later human activity, perhaps from the Bronze Age or Phoenician periods, overlaid on older Neolithic sites. Geological studies, like those conducted by the University of Malta in 2010, show that limestone's softness makes it prone to wear, and repeated use by sledges could create deep grooves over time. Yet, the ruts' consistency across diverse terrains, rocky hills, coastal cliffs, and submerged shores defies simple explanations. Their intersections, forming complex junctions, suggest a system far more elaborate than ad hoc quarrying. The lack of definitive artifacts like vehicles or tools only deepens the mystery, leaving room for both scholarly debate and wild imagination. As we trace these enigmatic grooves across Malta's landscape, the cart ruts feel like a message from a lost world. Were they practical tracks for moving stone, sacred pathways for ancient pilgrims, or remnants of a technology we can't comprehend? Their connection to the Hypogeum, with its echoes and rituals, suggests a unified purpose, a civilization that wove the earth, sky, and underworld into a single tapestry. The ruts lead us to cliffs, to seas, to nowhere, as if daring us to follow where no answers lie. They whisper of a time when Malta was more than an island, a hub of knowledge, power, or perhaps something beyond our grasp. Let us leave the sunlit cliffs of Malta, where the enigmatic cart ruts carve their silent riddles into the limestone, and journey to a distant land where an even older mystery awaits. In the rolling hills of southeastern Turkey, near the city of Şanlıurfa, lies Göbekli Tepe, a site that shatters everything we thought we knew about the dawn of civilization. Dating back to between 9,600 and 7,000 years before the Common Era, this sprawling complex of massive stone pillars predates Egypt's pyramids, Stonehenge, and even Malta's Hypogeum by thousands of years. Its discovery in 1994 turned archaeology on its head, revealing a monument built by people we once dismissed as simple hunter-gatherers. Yet, the scale, precision, and artistry of Göbekli Tepe suggest a sophistication that defies logic. How could a society without agriculture, metal tools, or permanent settlements create such a marvel? Was this the work of a forgotten civilization, a sacred gathering place, or something far stranger? As we stand among its towering T-shaped pillars, Göbekli Tepe whispers secrets that challenge the very timeline of human history, pulling us into a mystery that resonates with the Hypogeum's own enigmatic echoes. Göbekli Tepe sits atop a limestone plateau, its name meaning Potbelly Hill in Turkish, a deceptively simple moniker for a site of staggering complexity. Unearthed by German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt, the complex spans over 20 acres, with multiple enclosures formed by massive pillars, some weighing up to 16 tons and standing as tall as 6 meters. These T-shaped monoliths, arranged in circles like ancient Stonehenges, are carved with intricate reliefs, animals, humans, and abstract symbols that seem to tell a story we can't yet decipher. Radiocarbon dating places its construction in the pre-pottery Neolithic period, around 11,000 to 9,000 years ago, a time when humans were supposedly nomadic, living in small bands, hunting game, and gathering wild plants. The idea that such a society could build Göbekli Tepe, a monument requiring immense labor, organization, and skill, defies conventional wisdom, making it one of the most perplexing archaeological discoveries of our time. The pillars themselves are a marvel of engineering. Carved from local limestone quarries, they were transported up to 400 meters to the site, a feat that would challenge modern machinery without cranes or wheels. Each pillar, shaped like a stylized human figure, with arms and hands etched into its sides, was erected with precision, some aligned to cardinal points or celestial events. The carvings are equally astonishing. Lions, foxes, snakes, and scorpions adorn the stones, alongside human-like figures wearing belts or loincloths. Some pillars feature enigmatic symbols, like H-shaped motifs or concentric circles, that hint at a cosmology or mythology lost to time. The level of artistry suggests a culture with a shared vision, capable of coordinating hundreds, if not thousands, of workers over decades. Yet, no evidence of permanent settlements, agriculture, or even pottery exists at Göbekli Tepe, deepening the mystery of who these builders were and why they created such a place. Mainstream archaeology, led by scholars like Schmidt, proposes that Göbekli Tepe was a ceremonial center, a kind of temple where hunter-gatherer bands gathered for rituals. The animal carvings, possibly representing totems or deities, suggest a spiritual purpose, perhaps tied to fertility, hunting, or the afterlife. The site's location, visible for miles across the Fertile Crescent, supports this idea, as does the absence of domestic artifacts like hearths or dwellings. Some researchers, like Ian Hodder, argue that Göbekli Tepe played a pivotal role in the transition to agriculture, drawing people together and sparking the social complexity that led to settled societies. The effort required to build it, quarrying, carving, and erecting massive stones, implies a level of cooperation unprecedented for the time, challenging the notion that complex societies required farming first. But this explanation only scratches the surface, leaving unanswered questions that echo the mysteries of Malta's Hypogeum. How did hunter-gatherers, presumably focused on survival, muster the resources and organization to build such a monument? The pillars' weight and precision suggest advanced knowledge of engineering and astronomy, with some alignments potentially tracking the equinoxes or the star Sirius, as proposed by archaeoastronomer Giulio Magli. The carvings, too, are far from primitive, displaying a sophistication that rivals later civilizations. The presence of human skulls, some drilled with holes, found in recent excavations, hints at rituals involving death or ancestor worship, not unlike the Hypogeum's role as a necropolis. Could Göbekli Tepe have been a place where the living communed with the dead, much like Malta's subterranean temple? These parallels invite speculation that stretches beyond conventional archaeology. The sheer audacity of Göbekli Tepe's construction has led some, like Graham Hancock, to propose that it was built by survivors of a lost civilization, perhaps one wiped out by a cataclysm around 12,000 years before the Common Era. This theory, tied to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, suggests a comet strike triggered climate chaos, forcing advanced knowledge to be preserved in monuments like Göbekli Tepe. The site's deliberate burial, its enclosures filled with earth around 8,000 years before the Common Era, adds fuel to this idea. Why bury such a monumental site, unless to protect it from catastrophe or hide it from future generations? The act of burial, requiring as much effort as construction, suggests a reverence or fear of the site's power, echoing the Hypogeum's sealed entrance. Fringe theorists go further, drawing parallels with the Hypogeum's elongated skulls and acoustic properties. Could Göbekli Tepe's builders have been a distinct group, perhaps with altered crania, chosen for their spiritual or intellectual gifts? While no elongated skulls have been confirmed at the site, the human-like figures on the pillars, with their stylized heads, spark speculation about a priestly class or even non-human influence. Some, inspired by ancient astronaut theories, suggest the carvings depict extraterrestrial visitors, their symbols a code for advanced technology or cosmic knowledge. The H-shaped motifs, for instance, resemble patterns found in other ancient sites, like the Hypogeum's spirals or Sumerian seals, hinting at a shared cultural or technological thread across millennia. The site's acoustic properties, though less studied than the Hypogeum's, add another layer of intrigue. Preliminary research by acousticians like Miriam Kolar suggests that Göbekli Tepe's enclosures may have been designed to enhance sound, much like Malta's oracle room. The open-air setting would amplify chants or drums, creating an immersive ritual experience. Imagine hundreds of people gathered among the pillars, their voices rising in unison, resonating across the plateau. The carvings of animals and humans might have served as visual cues, guiding participants through a sensory journey, not unlike the Hypogeum's trance-inducing echoes. Could Göbekli Tepe have been a place where sound and ritual intertwined, a precursor to the acoustic engineering seen in later monuments? These connections raise a haunting question. Was Göbekli Tepe part of a global network of sacred sites, linked to the Hypogeum and beyond? The similarities, massive stonework, celestial alignments, and potential acoustic design suggest a shared knowledge system, one that predates recorded history. Some theorists propose that these sites were built by a single, advanced culture, perhaps Atlantis or a pre-flood society, whose survivors scattered their wisdom across the globe. The absence of writing at Göbekli Tepe, like the Hypogeum, leaves us guessing, but the symbols carved into the pillars, some resembling early proto-writing, hint at a system of communication we've yet to decode. Recent excavations, ongoing as of 2025, continue to uncover new enclosures, each more elaborate than the last, suggesting the site is far larger than initially thought. Skeptics, however, urge caution. The hunter-gatherer theory, while challenged by Göbekli Tepe's complexity, is supported by the lack of agricultural evidence. The site could represent a transitional phase, where social gatherings spurred innovation before farming took hold. The carvings, while sophisticated, reflect themes common to early societies: animals, hunting, and survival. The burial of the site might have been a ritual act, not a cover-up, akin to decommissioning a sacred space. Yet, the scale of the labor, estimated to require hundreds of workers over generations, defies this simplicity. The absence of tools or settlements nearby only deepens the enigma, as does the site's alignment with stars, which suggests a knowledge of astronomy rivaling later civilizations. As we stand among Göbekli Tepe's towering pillars, the mystery looms as large as the stones themselves. Who were these builders, and what drove them to create a monument so grand, only to bury it? Was it a temple, a gathering place, or a beacon of lost knowledge? Like the Hypogeum, Göbekli Tepe challenges our understanding of the past, its carvings and alignments whispering of a time when humanity reached for the stars, perhaps guided by forces we can't yet name. The site stands as a testament to a forgotten chapter, its secrets buried in the earth, waiting for us to listen. As we linger among the towering T-shaped pillars of Göbekli Tepe, could the carvings on these pillars depict the Younger Dryas impact, a comet strike that plunged the Earth into chaos? And do they hold warnings of a future apocalypse, a cycle of destruction foretold in stone? The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, first proposed in 2007 by a team of scientists including Richard Firestone and Alan West, posits that around 12,900 years ago, a massive comet or asteroid fragmented and bombarded the Earth, triggering a sudden return to Ice Age conditions. This event, known as the Younger Dryas, lasted about 1,200 years, halting the planet's warming trend and causing widespread extinctions, including the megafauna of North America. The hypothesis suggests impacts across multiple continents, with evidence like nanodiamonds, magnetic spherules, and iridium spikes found in sediment layers from that era. While controversial and debated in scientific circles, some argue the evidence is inconclusive or points to other causes like volcanic activity. It has captured the imagination of alternative historians and conspiracy theorists alike. Enter Graham Hancock, the British author, whose works like Fingerprints of the Gods and Magicians of the Gods have popularized the idea that Göbekli Tepe is a direct response to this cataclysm. Hancock argues that the site was built by survivors of an advanced civilization destroyed by the Younger Dryas impact, a society that possessed knowledge far beyond what we attribute to hunter-gatherers. In his view, Göbekli Tepe represents a transfer of technology, where refugees from this lost world, perhaps Atlantis or a similar antediluvian culture, taught local populations how to erect these massive pillars as a means to preserve astronomical and survival knowledge. As of 2025, Hancock continues to explore these themes on platforms like Joe Rogan's podcast, where episodes discussing ancient apocalypses have garnered millions of views. Rogan, with his blend of skepticism and curiosity, amplifies these theories, questioning why mainstream archaeology resists linking Göbekli Tepe to such events. Recent discoveries at Göbekli Tepe lend credence to these speculations, at least in the eyes of proponents. In 2024, a study published in the journal Earth Science Reviews revisited the Younger Dryas impact evidence, reinforcing the comet theory with new data from ice cores and sediment samples. More intriguingly, a paper from the University of Edinburgh analysed carvings on Pillar 43, often called the Vulture Stone, suggesting it depicts a comet swarm and a solar calendar, marking the date of the impact around 10,950 years before the Common Era. The pillar's reliefs, vultures, scorpions, and headless figures are interpreted as astronomical symbols, with the vulture representing the constellation Cygnus and the scorpion aligning with Scorpius. This world's oldest calendar, as dubbed in a 2024 Space.com article, allegedly records a Taurid meteor storm, a recurring event linked to the comet Encke, which could have caused the Younger Dryas chaos. Conspiracy theorists seize on this, proposing that Göbekli Tepe's builders encoded a warning of cyclical doomsday events. The Taurid meteor stream, which Earth passes through annually, is seen as a remnant of the ancient comet, potentially harboring fragments that could strike again. A 2025 NPR report highlighted how these ideas have gained traction on platforms like Reddit and YouTube, with users linking Göbekli Tepe to biblical prophecies of Armageddon or Mayan end times calendars. One Reddit thread from April 2025 discusses how the site's deliberate burial around 8,000 years before the Common Era was an act of concealment, hiding prophecies from unworthy eyes or protecting them for future generations. The carvings, they argue, are not just art but a message. Humanity has faced extinction before, and the stars hold the key to the next cataclysm. Joe Rogan has played a pivotal role in mainstreaming these theories. In a 2024 episode of his podcast, he hosted Hancock and Randall Carlson, a geologist who supports the impact hypothesis, discussing how Göbekli Tepe's pillars might symbolize a restart after the apocalypse. Carlson points to geological evidence like the scablands of Washington state, formed by massive floods potentially triggered by the impact, as proof of global upheaval. They speculate that the site's T-shaped pillars represent human figures watching the skies, a vigilant reminder of cosmic threats. This narrative ties into broader conspiracy lore, including the Nephilim giant beings from the Bible's Book of Genesis, who some claim were extraterrestrial or advanced humans who built such sites. A Facebook post from 2024 links Göbekli Tepe to these fallen angels, suggesting the carvings depict their arrival or warnings about recurring cometary bombardments. The Doomsday prophecy angle gains further intrigue from recent excavations. As of August 2025, ongoing digs at Göbekli Tepe and nearby Karahan Tepe have uncovered more enclosures, with carvings that some interpret as apocalyptic scenes, headless bodies, predatory animals, and celestial symbols. A Medium article from April 2025 describes a newly analyzed pillar, showing a 27-day meteor storm, aligning with the Taurid cycle as a visual warning from the ancient past. Theorists like Robert Schoch, a geologist known for his Sphinx erosion hypothesis, connect this to climate data showing abrupt changes during the Younger Dryas, proposing that Göbekli Tepe was a knowledge vault built to preserve wisdom for survivors of future disasters. Schoch's 2025 updates emphasize how the site's orientation to the star, Deneb in Cygnus, might track long-term cosmic cycles, foretelling another impact. Critics, however, dismiss these theories as pseudoscience. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis has faced scrutiny. A 2023 review in Earth Science Reviews questioned the evidence for extraterrestrial markers, attributing the cooling to oceanic currents or volcanic activity. Mainstream archaeologists like Nekmi Karul, leading the excavations, view Göbekli Tepe as a ceremonial site built by hunter-gatherers, transitioning to agriculture, with carvings reflecting shamanistic beliefs rather than prophecies. A 2024 New York Times article explores the hypothesis's persistence, noting how it thrives in popular media despite scientific skepticism. Yet, even detractors acknowledge the site's revolutionary implications, rewriting the timeline of complex societies. Conspiracy communities, fueled by YouTube channels like Ancient Architects and forums on Reddit's Our Alternative History, weave Göbekli Tepe into narratives of suppressed history. A 2025 YouTube video titled Göbekli Tepe, Olive Trees Removed, Shocking Footage, claims recent site alterations hide evidence of advanced tech or prophecies. Posts on X, formerly Twitter, from accounts like @AncientLif link Göbekli Tepe directly to the Younger Dryas, questioning if it's a survivor site or a warning for modern times. One thread from December 2024 discusses how the pillar's symbols match biblical descriptions of end-times events, tying into prophecies like those in the Book of Revelation. These theories resonate with the Hypogeum's own mysteries. Just as Malta's underground temple might encode acoustic and ritual knowledge, Göbekli Tepe could preserve astronomical warnings. The elongated skulls of Malta find echoes in Göbekli Tepe's stylized human figures, suggesting a shared motif of altered beings as guardians of secrets. Both sites, buried or hidden, imply a deliberate effort to safeguard knowledge from catastrophe. Hancock's Ancient Apocalypse series on Netflix, renewed for a second season in 2025, explores these connections, proposing a global network of survivor sites warning of recurring comets. In a world of climate change and cosmic threats, these ancient stones whisper urgency, listen, learn, and prepare. Whether fact or fantasy, the theories surrounding Göbekli Tepe stir the soul, blending science with speculation in a tapestry of human wonder. Yet, the debate rages on. A 2025 Fox News-linked paper on cryptoterrestrials references the Younger Dryas, speculating hidden advanced beings influence sites like Göbekli Tepe. On Quora and Facebook, users connect the impact to flood myths worldwide, from Noah's Ark to Atlantis legends. Hancock's website, updated in 2025, features new essays linking Göbekli Tepe to psychedelic rituals, suggesting carvings depict altered states induced by comet-induced traumas. I leave you with these echoes from the dawn of time. May they lull you into dreams of ancient skies and hidden truths. Sleep well, and let the pillars guard your rest. Let us journey across the Mediterranean to the sun-baked sands of Egypt, where the pyramids of Giza rise from the desert, like eternal enigmas defying time itself. Built around 4,500 years ago during the Fourth Dynasty, these monuments have captivated humanity for millennia, their secrets whispered on the winds of the Nile. But as we delve into their flawless geometry and celestial alignments, we uncover a tapestry of wonder that echoes the mysteries of Malta's Hypogeum and Göbekli Tepe's buried prophecies. How could ancient builders achieve such accuracy without modern tools? Do these pyramids encode cosmic knowledge, or are they relics of a forgotten advanced civilization? Relax now. Let the weight of these questions ease you into contemplation as we unravel the threads of this timeless puzzle. The pyramids of Giza, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the slightly smaller Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure stand as a triad of architectural perfection on the Giza Plateau, aligned with a precision that seems almost supernatural. The Great Pyramid, the largest and most iconic, measures approximately 230 meters on each side at its base, with a height of 146 meters when originally completed. But it is not the sheer scale that astonishes. It is the mathematical harmony woven into every stone. The sides of the base are equal to within a mere 15 centimeters, a deviation of less than 0.1% despite the pyramid comprising over 2 million limestone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons. This level of accuracy would be challenging even today, yet the ancient Egyptians achieved it using copper chisels, wooden rollers, and sheer human ingenuity, or so the official narrative claims. Delve deeper, and the mathematics become even more profound. The Great Pyramid incorporates the golden ratio, that divine proportion of 1.618, often found in nature's spirals and Renaissance art. The ratio of the pyramid's slant height to half its base length approximates this golden number, suggesting a deliberate design that harmonizes with universal patterns. Moreover, the structure encodes pi, the mathematical constant 3.14159, in its dimensions. If you take the perimeter of the base and divide it by twice the height, you arrive at a value astonishingly close to pi within a fraction of a percent. This precision extends to the pyramid's internal chambers. The king's chamber, with its granite sarcophagus, measures exactly twice as long as it is wide, and its height is such that the room's dimensions reflect the properties of a double square. These are not coincidences. They speak to a profound understanding of geometry, one that predates the Greeks by over 2,000 years. As Mr. H, I often wonder in the quiet hours, were the pyramid's architects merely mortal men, or did they draw from a well of knowledge passed down from an earlier cataclysmic age, much like the survivors who may have erected Göbekli Tepe? The astronomical alignments of the Giza pyramids elevate this mathematical mastery to the cosmic realm, forging a link between earth and sky that feels almost predestined. The three pyramids are aligned with remarkable accuracy to the cardinal points north, south, east, and west, with an error of less than 4 arc minutes, a feat that surpasses even some modern constructions without the aid of compasses or GPS. But the true wonder lies in their celestial correspondences. The layout of the pyramids mirrors the 3 stars of Orion's belt Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, as they appeared in the sky around 10,500 years before the Common Era, according to the Orion correlation theory proposed by Robert Bauval in the 1990s. This alignment suggests the pyramids were not just tombs but a terrestrial map of the heavens, perhaps symbolizing the pharaoh's journey to join Osiris, the god associated with Orion in Egyptian mythology. The internal shafts of the Great Pyramid further underscore this astronomical intent. From the king's chamber, 2 narrow shafts extend outward, one pointing northward toward the ancient pole star Thuban in Draco, and the other southward toward Orion's belt. Similarly, shafts from the Queen's chamber align with Sirius, the star of Isis, and Beta Ursa Minor. These alignments, calculated to the skies of 2,500 years before the Common Era, indicate a precise knowledge of precession, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that shifts the stars over millennia. Recent studies, including a 2023 analysis in the Journal of Astronomical History and Heritage, confirm these shafts were not mere ventilation but intentional conduits, perhaps symbolic pathways for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the stars. As we ponder this, echoes of Göbekli Tepe's celestial carvings resound, both sites attuned to the cosmos, as if ancient builders across continents shared a universal blueprint. Yet, the precision of Giza extends beyond what meets the eye, delving into realms that border on the metaphysical. The Great Pyramid's base perimeter, when multiplied by 43,200, the number of seconds in 12 hours, approximates the Earth's equatorial circumference, a correlation noted by researchers like John Taylor in the 19th century. Similarly, the pyramid's height, scaled by the same factor, matches the polar radius. These pyramid inches theories, popularized by Charles Piazzi Smythe, suggest the structure encodes Earth's dimensions, implying knowledge of geodesy far advanced for the time. Skeptics dismiss this as numerology, but the coincidences pile up. The pyramid's latitude, 29 degrees 59 minutes north, places it at the center of the world's landmass when longitude is considered, a fact verified by modern satellite data. In a 2024 study from the Egyptian Journal of Remote Sensing and Space Sciences, new LiDAR scans revealed the pyramid's base is not perfectly square but slightly concave, mimicking the Earth's curvature, a detail that enhances its geodetic accuracy. Recent discoveries, as of this August 25, 2025, have only amplified the mystery. Ground-penetrating radar and tomography scans, part of the Scan Pyramids project, confirmed in March 2025 a hidden corridor behind the Great Pyramid's north face chevron, as published in Nature. This 9-meter passage, undetected for millennia, raises questions about undiscovered chambers, encoding further mathematical secrets. In June 2025, reports from the Khafre Pyramid revealed a multi-layered underground structure via seismic surveys, including voids and tunnels that align with astronomical points, as discussed in Reddit communities and alternative history forums. A July 2025 YouTube analysis by channels like Ancient Architects speculates these features incorporate the Fibonacci sequence in their dimensions, tying into the golden ratio observed in the pyramid's slopes. These findings fuel conspiracy theories that the pyramids were not built by the 4th dynasty Egyptians alone, but by inheritors of a lost civilization, perhaps survivors of the Younger Dryas impact we explored at Göbekli Tepe. Graham Hancock, in his 2025 updates, posits that Giza's precision reflects antediluvian knowledge, with the pyramids serving as a machine for astronomical observation or energy harnessing. The shaft's alignments to ancient stars suggest a date far older than the official 2,550 years before the Common Era, aligning with the Orion configuration of 10,500 years before the Common Era, a time of post-impact recovery. Robert Bauval's ongoing research, shared in a 2025 podcast with Joe Rogan, reinforces this, noting how the pyramid's layout mirrors not just Orion but the Milky Way as the Nile's celestial counterpart. Ancient astronaut theorists, like those on the History Channel's Ancient Aliens, go further, claiming the mathematical perfection such as the pyramid's slope angle of 51 degrees 52 minutes, which generates a sect of 5.5 palms, embedding pi points to extraterrestrial assistance. A 2025 episode explores how the pyramid's electromagnetic properties, measured in recent experiments, resonate at frequencies similar to the Hypogeum's 110 Hz, suggesting a global network of power plants. Conspiracy forums on Reddit, as of mid-2025, buzz with claims that suppressed scans reveal crystal chambers within Giza, aligning with Edgar Cayce's prophecies of Atlantean halls of records. The astronomical impossibilities extend to the Sphinx, part of the Giza complex, whose erosion patterns analyzed in a 2024 Geological Society of America paper suggest water damage from 12,000 years ago, aligning with the Younger Dryas floods. This water erosion hypothesis, championed by Robert Schoch, implies the Sphinx predates the pyramids, its gaze fixed on Leo during the equinox of 10,500 years before the Common Era. Recent infrared thermography in 2025 detected anomalies beneath the Sphinx's pores, fueling speculation of hidden chambers containing astronomical codices. Tying back to our earlier explorations, Giza's precision mirrors the Hypogeum's acoustic engineering and Göbekli Tepe's celestial alignments. All three sites, separated by geography and time, share an obsession with the stars, mathematics, and perhaps a shared origin in a post-cataclysmic world. The golden ratio in Giza's design echoes the spirals in Malta's ochre paintings, while Orion's belt at Giza parallels Göbekli Tepe's potential comet carvings. I invite you to let these connections drift through your mind like desert sands, lulling you towards sleep with the weight of unsolved wonders. But the mysteries don't end with alignments. They delve into numerology that borders on prophecy. The Great Pyramid's internal passageways, when measured in pyramid inches, allegedly encode historical timelines, from the Exodus to modern events, as claimed in pyramidology texts like those of David Davidson. A 2025 Quora thread revives this, suggesting the pyramid's apex, now missing, pointed to a future alignment in 2030, perhaps signaling another cosmic event. Such ideas, while dismissed as pareidolia, gain traction in online communities, linking Giza to biblical end times or Mayan calendars. Recent scans in April 2025, reported by the BBC, revealed a large void above the Grand Gallery, 30 meters long, sparking debates about its purpose. Perhaps a chamber, housing astronomical instruments or mathematical artifacts. Egyptian authorities, in a June 2025 press release, announced plans for non-invasive exploration, but conspiracy theorists on X claim suppression of findings that could rewrite history. In the quiet of the night, as the stars wheel above Giza just as they did millennia ago, the pyramids stand as monuments to human or perhaps superhuman achievement. Their mathematical flawlessness, embedding pi and phi, and their astronomical gaze toward Orion and Sirius, speak of a profound connection to the universe. Whether crafted by pharaohs, Atlanteans, or visitors from the stars, they challenge us to dream of possibilities beyond the veil. I'm Mr. H, your guide through these cosmic riddles on Mystery History for Sleep. If Giza's secrets have sparked your curiosity, drop a comment below. Where are you tuning in from? And what time is it there? Perhaps it's evening in Cairo, morning in Los Angeles, or the dead of night somewhere else. Share your thoughts, and let these ancient wonders guide you into a restful slumber, where the stars of Orion light your dreams. We explore the enigmatic underground world of Giza, the concealed chambers, mysterious voids, and tantalizing theories of ancient energy devices that could rewrite our understanding of these eternal structures. Echoing the subterranean mysteries of Malta's Hypogeum and the buried prophecies of Göbekli Tepe, the secrets beneath Giza suggest a purpose far beyond mere tombs. Could these pyramids harness cosmic forces, serving as power plants for a lost civilization? As of March 23, 2025, scientists announced the detection of a vast underground city beneath the pyramids, using advanced synthetic aperture radar technology. This revelation, detailed in reports from the New York Post, describes 5 small room-like structures inside the Great Pyramid, but extends to a sprawling complex of chambers and tunnels connecting the pyramids at depths reaching up to 648 meters. The interdisciplinary team, led by researchers like Malanga and Biondi, presented their findings on March 15, 2025, sparking global intrigue and debates about suppressed knowledge. These structures, including tubular wells and cubic chambers, hint at an intricate subterranean network, possibly used for rituals, storage, or even technological purposes far beyond our current comprehension. Delving deeper into these revelations, a hidden corridor discovered in the Great Pyramid in July 2025 measures nearly 30 feet in length, unveiled through cutting-edge imaging techniques. This passage, located behind the pyramid's north face chevron, adds to the growing list of voids detected by the Scan Pyramids project, which employs tomography and ground-penetrating radar to peer inside without disturbing the stones. Earlier scans in 2023 identified a large void above the Grand Gallery, but the 2025 findings expand this to include multi-layered underground structures beneath the Khafre Pyramid, featuring voids and tunnels aligned with astronomical points. As shared in a March 20, 2025 article from Marca, these discoveries, including Nubian bones in hidden chambers, are shaking up history, suggesting the plateau was a hub of activity long before the Fourth Dynasty. The intrigue intensifies with reports of new hieroglyphs found in the Great Pyramid's relieving chambers in June 2025, as highlighted in a YouTube video from the channel exploring ancient mysteries. These inscriptions, previously undetected, may hold clues to the pyramid's true purpose, potentially describing construction techniques or ritual significance. Meanwhile, a Reddit discussion from March 22, 2025 debates the implications of huge structures discovered 2 kilometers below the Great Pyramid, with users speculating on man-made origins tied to ancient cataclysms. Ancient origins. Net reported on March 24, 2025, about a vast underground complex, accessible by long tunnels, fueling theories of a hidden city beneath Giza. A Facebook post from June 25, 2025, echoes this, noting advanced scanning techniques, revealing previously unknown passages. Even more stunning, a May 13, 2025 article from Only by Land details an Egyptian-German team's March findings of several new chambers, stunning archaeologists worldwide. These hidden chambers and tunnels beneath Giza evoke parallels with the Hypogeum's labyrinthine depths, where acoustics and rituals intertwined in mysterious ways. But at Giza, the secrets take a turn toward the technological, with theories proposing the pyramids as ancient energy devices. Christopher Dunn, in his seminal work The Giza Power Plant from 1998, argues that the Great Pyramid was not a tomb, but a sophisticated machine designed to generate and store energy. Dunn, an engineer, posits that the pyramid harnessed hydrogen through chemical reactions in its chambers, producing electricity via piezoelectric effects in the granite stones. A YouTube video from April 30, 2024, explores this theory, suggesting the king's chamber acted as a resonator, converting mechanical stress into electrical energy. Building on this, a 2018 study from phys.org revealed that the Great Pyramid can focus electromagnetic energy under resonance conditions, concentrating it in internal chambers and beneath the base. This scientific validation lends credence to Dunn's ideas, with the pyramid's dimensions and materials quartz-rich granite and limestone acting as capacitors or amplifiers for natural energies. A March 11, 2025 YouTube video speculates on stolen copper wires and unexplained electromagnetic fields, proposing the pyramid as a wireless power plant, echoing Nikola Tesla's speculations. A March 21, 2025 Tribune article notes that the pyramids might collect and harness Earth's natural energy, tying into the recent underground discoveries. Theories extend to ancient Egyptian electricity, with the Dendera light and Baghdad battery suggesting forgotten power sources, as explored in a December 9, 2024 Egypt Tours portal blog. A Reddit post from September 11, 2023, claims the Great Pyramid was a Tesla tower, with the king's chamber generating piezoelectric energy. An October 6, 2022 YouTube video asserts Tesla knew the pyramid's secret as a power plant for unlimited free energy. A LinkedIn post from April 30, 2023 reiterates Dunn's hydrogen electricity theory. These energy device theories connect Giza to our previous explorations. The Hypogeum's 110 Hz resonance mirrors Giza's electromagnetic focusing, suggesting a global ancient tech network. Göbekli Tepe's celestial warnings align with Giza's Orion mappings, perhaps as post-Younger Dryas knowledge vaults. A July 24, 2025 YouTube video describes scans revealing an impossible underground city beneath Giza, tying into energy conduit theories. Conspiracy narratives abound, with X posts from March 22, 2025, discussing hidden chambers and ancient secrets. Another from March 21 highlights tunnels and chambers, sparking debates on their purpose. A March 20, 2025 post warns of a massive underground complex, claiming mainstream silence hides truths. I ponder these revelations in the still of the night. The hidden chambers beneath Giza, with their potential as energy hubs, suggest the pyramids were beacons of power, not just stone. Whether harnessing Earth's vibrations or cosmic rays, they stand as testaments to a wisdom we may never fully grasp. Let these mysteries envelop you, dear listeners, as you drift into sleep, dreaming of ancient energies awakening once more. The underground secrets of Giza continue to unfold, with each scan revealing layers of complexity. The voids and passages, aligned with stars, might have channeled energies for rituals or technologies lost to time. Dunn's power plant theory, supported by electromagnetic studies, proposes the Queen's chamber as a chemical reactor, producing hydrogen gas that resonated in the King's chamber to generate microwave energy. This could explain the pyramid's internal heat anomalies detected in infrared scans. Tying into ancient astronaut ideas, some claim extraterrestrials designed the pyramids as energy devices, their chambers storing crystals or artifacts. Casey's halls of records, potentially beneath the Sphinx, might connect via tunnels to these chambers, holding Atlantean knowledge. Recent tomography in 2025 confirms a 30-meter void, sparking speculation of energy-related artifacts. Egyptian authorities' plans for exploration fuel hopes and fears of what lies within. Let us venture across the vast Atlantic to the high plains of Bolivia, where another enigma awaits in the shadow of the Andes. We explore Puma Punku, a site whose name means Gate of the Puma in the Aymara language, a place where massive stones lie scattered like the remnants of a titanic puzzle, their cuts so precise they seem forged by lasers rather than human hands. Dating back to around 536 years after the Common Era, though some theories push its origins far earlier, Puma Punku is part of the larger Tiwanaku complex near Lake Titicaca, a high-altitude wonder that defies explanation. Echoing the subterranean secrets of Malta's Hypogeum, the celestial prophecies of Göbekli Tepe, and the mathematical marvels of Giza, Puma Punku stands as a testament to a lost mastery of stone, raising questions that linger in the thin air of the Altiplano. How were these blocks shaped with such impossible accuracy? Were they the work of a forgotten advanced civilization, or perhaps visitors from beyond the stars? Puma Punku sits at an elevation of over 3,800 meters, a desolate yet mesmerizing landscape where the ruins sprawl across a plateau, their massive H-shaped blocks and interlocking stones hinting at a once grand structure. The site, discovered in the 16th century by Spanish conquistadors like Pedro Cieza de Leon, who marveled at its monolithic gates and sculptures, covers about half a square kilometer, with stones weighing up to 130 tons scattered as if by a giant's hand. The Aymara people, native to the region, had no memory of its construction, attributing it to ancient beings or even the god Viracocha, a white-skinned figure who brought order after a great flood. This oral tradition, recorded in 1549, sets the stage for Puma Punku's enduring allure, a place where history blurs with myth. The most striking feature of Puma Punku is the precision of its stonework, cut so exact they resemble modern laser machining. The andesite and sandstone blocks, some as large as 8 meters long, feature perfect right angles, flat surfaces polished to a mirror-like sheen, and interlocking joints that fit without mortar, defying earthquakes and time. Drilled holes, some as small as a few millimeters, run through the stones with unerring straightness, while grooves and notches suggest assembly line production, with identical modules repeated across the site. Mainstream archaeology attributes this to the Tiwanaku culture, flourishing from around 300 to 1,000 years after the Common Era, using bronze tools and abrasives. Yet, the tolerances often within fractions of a millimeter challenge this, as even copper chisels would struggle against the hard andesite. A recent AI analysis in August 2025 suggests advanced geometric planning, but offers no clear tool explanation. The mystery deepens with recent explorations. In June 2025, adventurers documented Puma Punku's megalithic features, highlighting its proximity to Tiwanaku and the site's enduring bafflement. A YouTube video from July 2025 claims the mystery solved, proposing not alien intervention but sophisticated lost techniques, though details remain speculative. Radiocarbon dating confirms construction around 536 years after the Common Era, but some push for earlier origins, linking to pre-Incan eras. The site's alignment with solstices and its potential as a ceremonial center tie it to astronomical knowledge, much like Giza's Orion mappings. Conspiracy theories abound, painting Puma Punku as evidence of ancient aliens or lost civilizations like Atlantis. Erich von Däniken, in Chariots of the Gods, posited extraterrestrial aid for the precision cuts, a view echoed in recent discussions. Elongated skulls found nearby, similar to Malta's, Notias, suggest a hybrid race or advanced beings. A 2025 X-post links Puma Punku to Atlantis, citing its unique blocks. Brian Forster's videos explore this, connecting to Olmec and elongated skulls. Theories suggest Puma Punku as an energy device, its interlocking stones resonating like the Hypogeum's chambers. Some claim metrical measurements indicate post-flood tech, tying to biblical floods. Spanish chroniclers heard tales of Viracocha, a post-flood creator. Connecting to previous sites, Puma Punku's precision mirrors Giza's math, Göbekli Tepe's carvings, and Hypogeum's depths, suggesting a global network post-Younger Dryas. A 2025 Instagram post highlights its intrigue. As Mr. H, I reflect on Puma Punku's scattered stones, a puzzle of lost mastery. Whether alien, Atlantean, or human ingenuity, it invites dreams of ancient wonders. Sleep now, letting its mysteries carry you into the night. Puma Punku's stones, with laser-like cuts and perfect angles, continue to baffle. Theories of series production using metrics challenge timelines. Underwater alignments near Lake Titicaca suggest older origins. The site's destruction blocks scattered as if by catastrophe fuels impact theories linking to Göbekli Tepe's burial. Perhaps a comet or flood ended this advanced society. Recent AI explanations propose sonic levitation or plasma cutting, but no consensus. Explorations reveal stalactite-filled caves, hinting at immense age. If Puma Punku's mysteries have captivated you, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell to explore more with us. I'd love to know in the comments what time is it where you are, and what's your take on these enigmatic stones. As you drift off, let these ancient puzzles carry you into dreams under starlit Andean skies. From the colossal terraces of Baalbek in Lebanon to the enigmatic circles of Stonehenge in England, and the baffling out-of-place artifacts known as OOPArts scattered across the globe, these wonders echo the subterranean secrets of Malta's Hypogeum, the buried prophecies of Göbekli Tepe, the mathematical marvels of Giza, and the laser-like precision of Puma Punku. They form a tapestry of anomalies, challenging our understanding of history and inviting us to dream of civilizations long vanished. Our journey resumes in the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon, where the ruins of Baalbek rise like titans from the earth, their massive stones defying gravity and comprehension. Known to the Romans as Heliopolis, City of the Sun, Baalbek's history stretches back millennia, with foundations that may predate even the earliest known civilizations. The site's most astonishing feature is the Trilithon, 3 enormous limestone blocks, each weighing an estimated 800 to 1,000 tons, positioned 20 feet above ground level in the temple's western wall. These megaliths, measuring up to 65 feet long and 14 feet high, are among the largest quarried stones ever used in construction. For context, they dwarf the blocks of Stonehenge, or even the largest at Giza, raising profound questions. How were they moved from a quarry over a mile away, up a steep incline, and placed with such precision? Mainstream archaeology attributes Baalbek to the Romans, who built grand temples to Jupiter, Venus, and Bacchus atop older foundations around the 1st century before the Common Era. Yet, the Trilithon predates this era, with some evidence suggesting Phoenician or even earlier origins. Spanish chroniclers in the 16th century recorded local legends of giants or divine beings constructing the site, tales that persist today. In a 2025 YouTube exploration, researchers revisited Baalbek's mysteries, noting saw blade traces on walls that suggest advanced cutting tools far beyond ancient capabilities. A July 18, 2025 video titled New Baalbek Discovery Changes. Everything highlights recent scans, revealing potential underground chambers, echoing Giza's hidden voids. An August 6, 2025 documentary emphasizes the engineering puzzle, with stones so massive that modern cranes would strain to lift them. Conspiracy theorists, including those inspired by Erich von Daniken, propose extraterrestrial involvement, citing the impossibility of human transport without advanced technology. A June 25, 2025 X post discusses Baalbek's finished shocks with saw blade traces, fueling alien tool theories. Graham Hancock links Baalbek to post-Younger Dryas survivors, suggesting it as a knowledge repository like Göbekli Tepe. The quarry nearby holds even larger, unfinished stones. The stone of the pregnant woman at over 1,000 tons, and the stone of the south at 1,200 tons abandoned mid-extraction, as if work halted abruptly by catastrophe. A May 22, 2025 Instagram post marvels at Baalbek's scale, connecting it to global megaliths. Like Puma Punku's interlocking blocks, Baalbek's precision suggests modular construction, perhaps using sonic levitation or anti-gravity tech, theories amplified in a June 17, 2025 X-thread. The site's resilience, surviving earthquakes, wars, and time adds to its aura. In November 2024, Baalbek faced evacuation amid conflict, yet its stones endured, as reported by Al Jazeera. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, Baalbek's colossal foundations may link to the Nephilim giants of biblical lore, with a July 17, 2025 X-post exploring Hurrian warriors as giants connected to Baalbek. This ties to elongated skulls from Malta and Peru, suggesting a global elite with advanced knowledge. Shifting westward to the misty plains of Wiltshire, England, Stonehenge emerges as another out-of-place marvel, its circular arrangement of massive sarsens and bluestones, a beacon of prehistoric ingenuity. Constructed in phases from around 3,100 years before the Common Era, Stonehenge's purpose remains debated: solar calendar, healing center, or burial ground. Its alignment with the summer solstice sunrise and winter solstice sunset demonstrates profound astronomical knowledge, with the heel stone marking the sun's path. Recent discoveries illuminate Stonehenge's secrets. In July 2025, a study revealed a Neolithic cow's tooth from Wales, suggesting cattle transported the bluestones over 200 miles, reinforcing human agency over glacial theories. BBC reported on July 24, 2025, that boulders were carried by humans, not ice. A January 2, 2025 Popular Mechanics article proposes a second political purpose: unifying tribes. In February 2025, a Stonehenge-like woodhenge was unearthed in Denmark, with timber circles potentially linked to UK sites via ancient migrations. A May 28, 2025 lecture by Julian Richards, Stonehenge, Old Rocks, New Theories, explores evolving interpretations. Conspiracy angles abound. Crop circles near Stonehenge in May 2025 sparked alien signal theories. Hancock ties Stonehenge to post-cataclysm survivors, its alignments warning of cosmic cycles like Göbekli Tepe's carvings. The Bluestone's Welsh origin, detailed in a July 25, 2025 blog, suggests ritual significance, perhaps healing properties. Acoustic studies show Stonehenge amplified sounds, akin to Hypogeum's resonance, for shamanistic rituals. Finally, we turn to OOPArts out-of-place artifacts that challenge timelines. The Antikythera mechanism, a 2,000-year-old Greek analog computer, discovered in 1900, predicts astronomical positions, with gears rivaling 18th-century clocks. A 2025 study refines its calibration, confirming sophisticated math. The Baghdad battery, Parthian jars from 250 years before the Common Era, may have generated electricity for electroplating, as tested in modern replicas. Other OOPArts include the main penny, a Norse coin in Native American sites, suggesting pre-Columbian contact, the Dendera lights, Egyptian reliefs resembling bulbs, and the Saqqara bird, a wooden glider hinting at aviation knowledge. A June 6, 2025 Medium article lists top OOPArts, emphasizing their anomalies. September 8, 2020 Ancient Origins piece details 17 such artifacts, linking to high-tech prehistory. These OOPArts connect to our sites. Antikythera's gears echo Giza's math. Baghdad battery ties to energy theories beneath pyramids. Like Puma Punku's cuts, they suggest lost tech, perhaps from Atlantis or aliens. A 2025 YouTube on July discoveries mentions OOPArt-like finds, though not specific. In weaving these threads, Baalbek's giants, Stonehenge's stars, and OOPArts' anomalies form a global mosaic of out-of-time wonders, challenging narratives. Like Hypogeum's echoes, they whisper of advanced forebears. To expand upon Baalbek, the trilithon's seamless joins suggest anti-gravity or sonic lifting, theories amplified in a June 25, 2025 post. A May 28, 2025 video links Baalbek to giants, citing Hurrian warriors. For Stonehenge, the cow-tooth discovery, shared on X in August 2025, reinforces Welsh connections. Crop circles, noted in May 2025, add UFO intrigue. OOPArts like the Quimbaya artifact's gold jets from Colombia suggest ancient flight, while the Voynich manuscript's undeciphered text hints at lost knowledge. A November 19, 2022, archaeologist blog lists mind-blowing OOPArts. Live Sciences October 27, 2016 article on mysterious finds includes similar anomalies. These sites and artifacts, from Baalbek's behemoths to Stonehenge's stones and OOPArts' oddities, defy chronology, suggesting a rewritten history. Perhaps a pre-flood civilization, survivors building after younger Dryas, as at Göbekli Tepe. Connections abound. Baalbek's scale mirrors Puma Punku's precision. Stonehenge's alignments echo Giza's stars. OOPArts like Antikythera parallel Hypogeum's sophistication. In this cosmic dance, humanity's past gleams with untapped potential. From the subterranean echoes of Malta's Hypogeum to the celestial carvings of Göbekli Tepe, the mathematical marvels of Giza, the colossal terraces of Baalbek, the solstice alignments of Stonehenge, and the out-of-place artifacts scattered across the globe, a common narrative emerges, one of ancient aliens and fallen angels from the pages of the Bible. These theories, blending extraterrestrial visitors with divine rebels, suggest that our history is not merely human but interwoven with beings from beyond the stars or the heavens themselves. As the veil of slumber draws near, let us explore this synthesis of ideas, allowing the whispers of Nephilim and Anunnaki to lull you into a realm of profound wonder and peaceful rest. The ancient aliens theory, popularized by Erich von Däniken in his groundbreaking 1968 book Chariots of the Gods, posits that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in antiquity, influencing human civilization through advanced technology and knowledge. This idea has evolved over decades, gaining momentum through the History Channel's long-running series Ancient Aliens, which as of 2025 continues to air new episodes exploring these concepts. The show, now in its 21st season, delves into sites like Göbekli Tepe, Giza, and Puma Punku, suggesting that their construction required otherworldly assistance. A May 8, 2025 YouTube episode titled Humans from the Future examines shocking theories of time-traveling visitors, blending ancient myths with modern speculation. Similarly, a July 30, 2025 documentary, Da Vinci's Hidden Alien Messages Decoded, uncovers alleged extraterrestrial codes in Renaissance art, extending the theory beyond archaeology to cultural artifacts. At the heart of this narrative are the Nephilim and fallen angels from the Bible's book of Genesis, chapter 6, where sons of God descend to earth, mating with human women to produce giants known as Nephilim. These beings, often interpreted as rebels against divine order, are linked by theorists to the Anunnaki of Sumerian mythology, godlike figures who came from the heavens to mine gold and engineer humanity. The Book of Enoch, an apocryphal text, expands on this, describing 200 watchers, fallen angels, who taught humans forbidden knowledge, from metallurgy to astronomy. A March 15, 2024, Medium article explores connections between Göbekli Tepe and Puma Punku as gates of the underworld, suggesting these sites were portals used by such entities. Biblical archaeology sites, like the daily section of the Biblical Archaeology Society, discuss Göbekli Tepe's ruins as origins of Neolithic religion, with some speculating ties to fallen angels descending at Mount Hermon. Tying this to our explored sites, Göbekli Tepe's 12,000-year-old pillars, with their animal and human carvings, are seen by some as depictions of Nephilim or alien hybrids. A Facebook post from an Ancient Mysteries group claims the site's age aligns with the Watcher's descent, portraying it as a post-flood knowledge hub built by giants. Graham Hancock's theories, amplified in his 2025 podcast appearances, link Göbekli Tepe to survivors of a comet impact, perhaps guided by these celestial beings. The vulture stone, interpreted as a comet swarm record, could symbolize the fallen angel's arrival, a cosmic event that reshaped humanity. At Giza, the pyramid's astronomical alignments to Orion associated with Osiris, a godlike figure, suggest alien engineering. The Orion correlation theory posits the layout mirrors the belt stars, a gateway for souls or extraterrestrials. Fallen angels theories connect the Nephilim to pyramid construction, their giant stature explaining the massive blocks. A Quora discussion from August 2, 2023, explores ancient aliens as Martian fallen angels from the Book of Enoch, blending biblical lore with extraterrestrial origins. Recent scans revealing hidden voids in 2025 are seen as chambers for alien tech or Nephilim artifacts. Baalbek's Trilithon, with its 1,000-ton stones, is often cited as Nephilim handiwork, the site linked to biblical giants in local legends. A YouTube video from May 23, 2018, Baalbek, Lebanon, Megaliths of the Gods, posits divine or alien construction. The name Baalbek, meaning Lord of the Bekar, evokes Baal, a Canaanite god, possibly a fallen angel guise. Theories suggest it as a landing platform for Anunnaki ships, its scale impossible without levitation tech taught by Watchers. Puma Punku's laser-like cuts are attributed to alien tools or Nephilim craftsmanship. The site's H-shaped blocks mirror motifs at Göbekli Tepe, seen as gates for interdimensional beings. A YouTube episode from October 10, 2021, In Search of Aliens, Mystery of Puma Punku Revealed, explores extraterrestrial connections. Local Aymara legends of Viracocha, a bearded god post-flood, parallel Enoch's Watchers, suggesting hybrid origins for the builders. Stonehenge's blue stones, transported hundreds of miles, are linked to Merlin's giants in folklore, tying to Nephilim. Its solstice alignments suggest astronomical knowledge from fallen angels. OOPArts like the Antikythera mechanism are seen as Watcher-taught devices, their sophistication evidence of divine intervention. This synthesis posits a global network, Göbekli Tepe as a warning post-impact, Giza as an energy beacon, Baalbek as a giant stronghold, Puma Punku as an alien outpost, all connected by fallen angels, or Anunnaki, shaping humanity. The Book of Enoch's Watchers, teaching forbidden arts, explains the out-of-time tech. Recent developments keep these theories alive. The Ancient Aliens Live Tour in 2025 brings experts to stages across the US, discussing these connections. A July 12, 2025 YouTube clip from Ancient Aliens, Declassified, explores alien ties to ancient societies, debunking articles like a January 9, 2025 podcast on pseudoscience exploiting remains, highlight ethical concerns but don't dim the allure. A Reddit post from July 29, 2025, calls Ancient Aliens flat Earth for smart people, critiquing its appeal. Yet, a May 3, 2025 Facebook group post teases a movie, The Anunnaki, 2025, about ancient aliens returning, blending fiction with theory. A Quora query from May 8, 2025, links Ancient Aliens to Graham Hancock, seeing both as derivatives of older myths. Biblical connections persist. A PDF from In Search of Ancient Gods ties fallen angels to sites like Göbekli Tepe and Giza, suggesting Anunnaki as watchers. A Quora answer from March 30, 2021, describes theologians viewing ancient aliens as misinterpretations of divine events. A Facebook group post from November 24, 2024, warns of Baalbek's collapse but notes its endurance, seen as angelic protection. In this grand synthesis, the threads converge. Ancient aliens as fallen angels, shaping sites from Göbekli Tepe to Puma Punku. Whether Anunnaki mining gold or Watchers teaching arts, they explain the out-of-time feats. To further elaborate, the Ancient Aliens series Origins in 2025 revisits extraterrestrial visitations, linking to biblical angels. A November 1, 2024 Ancient Origins article debunks or proves alien theories, noting evidence in myths. A Facebook post connects Göbekli Tepe to fallen angels as manifested gods. Theories extend to modern implications. If fallen angels were aliens, do they still influence us? A May 11, 2024 YouTube video asks if scientists will discover alien life in 2025, tying to ancient visitations. Tour dates for ancient aliens. Live in March 2025. Bring these ideas to audiences, with events in Waukegan and Patchogue. In connecting the dots, Baalbek's giants align with Puma Punku's precision as Nephilim works, Giza's pyramids as Anunnaki power plants, Göbekli Tepe as a watcher, warning. This holistic view, while speculative, offers a narrative where Bible and extraterrestrial lore merge, explaining humanity's leaps. In the labyrinth of human knowledge, where facts intertwine with forbidden lore, the notion of cover-ups emerges as a persistent spectre, haunting the edges of our understanding. Governments, with their vast resources and secretive apparatuses, have long been accused of orchestrating veils over ancient sites, perhaps to maintain control over narratives that could upend societal structures or reveal technologies beyond our current grasp. Take, for instance, the Giza Plateau, where the pyramids stand as eternal sentinels. Egyptian authorities have tightly regulated access to these wonders, often limiting excavations and scans that could unveil hidden chambers. In March 2025, a team of Italian and Scottish researchers announced the discovery of a vast underground complex beneath the pyramids, using synthetic aperture radar to detect structures at depths up to 648 meters. Yet, whispers abound that such findings are downplayed or suppressed, with permits for further exploration delayed or denied. A report from ancient-origins.net on the 24th of March, 2025, detailed this vast underground complex accessible by long tunnels, sparking speculation that officials are concealing evidence of advanced ancient engineering or even extraterrestrial involvement. Why the hesitation? Some theorists posit that revealing these secrets could disrupt Egypt's tourism narrative or expose truths about human origins that challenge religious or political dogmas. This pattern of governmental guardianship extends to Göbekli Tepe, the Turkish site whose 12,000-year-old pillars rewrite the dawn of civilization. Turkish authorities have controlled excavations tightly, with portions of the site buried or restricted from public view. In April 2025, a YouTube video titled Göbekli Tepe, Olive Trees Removed, shocking footage claimed that ancient olive trees were cleared to obscure further discoveries, suggesting a deliberate effort to limit what the world learns about this prehistoric temple. An OPB article from the 9th of August 2025 highlighted how Göbekli Tepe has become a hotspot for conspiracy theories, with some accusing the government of suppressing evidence that could link the site to extraterrestrial or antediluvian influences. Similarly, at Puma Punku in Bolivia, access is regulated, and artifacts have reportedly vanished into private collections or state vaults, preventing independent analysis that might confirm theories of advanced machining or alien intervention. Baalbek in Lebanon offers another poignant example, where the colossal trilithon stones, each over 800 tons, defy explanation. Amid regional conflicts, the site has faced threats, but some claim governments have used instability as a pretext to limit research. A November 2024 Al Jazeera report noted evacuations due to warfare, yet conspiracy circles on platforms like Facebook argue that such disruptions conveniently halt probes into the site's potential as a Nephilim stronghold or ancient landing pad. Stonehenge, under English Heritage's stewardship, sees similar restrictions. While open to tourists, deeper excavations are rare, and theories linking it to ancient aliens or druidic secrets are often dismissed as fringe, with funding directed elsewhere. The role of science in this alleged suppression is equally compelling, a bastion of empirical rigor that some accuse of gatekeeping alternative narratives to preserve established paradigms. Pseudo-archaeology, as defined by Wikipedia, involves interpretations that reject or misunderstand scientific methods, often leading to the outright dismissal of theories like those of Graham Hancock or Eric von Däniken. Hancock's Ancient Apocalypse series on Netflix which posits a lost advanced civilization destroyed by cataclysm, has been lambasted by archaeologists as sinister pseudoscience, as detailed in a March 2023 Epoch magazine article, arguing it undermines indigenous histories and promotes white supremacist undertones. A December 2022 Nation piece calls it Apocalypse No, labeling it pseudo-archaeology that ignores ordinary people's achievements in favor of tech lords and conspiracies. This scientific resistance extends to psychedelic theories, as seen in the 6th of August 2025 Mirage News report on ancient rituals potentially fueled by substances under fire for lacking evidence and promoting pseudoscience. Why such suppression? Critics argue that academia's funding and prestige depend on maintaining the status quo. Challenging theories like ancient aliens or fallen angels risk ridicule or defunding. A Quora response from the 21st of November 2022 explains why Hancock's ideas aren't accepted. Mainstream science silences dissenters, viewing them as threats to established timelines. Yet, a Facebook post from the 24th of April 2025 counters that mainstream archaeology dismisses discoveries too quickly, advocating for open exploration of alternatives. Governments and science often intersect in these cover-ups, with agencies like UNESCO or national heritage bodies controlling narratives. At Giza, Egyptian officials have been accused of hiding artifacts, as in a March 2025 New York Post report on underground structures, where delays in announcements suggest selective disclosure. In the US, Project 2025's push to repeal the Antiquities Act, as critiqued in the 12th of September 2024 American Progress article, threatens national monuments, potentially allowing exploitation that buries ancient secrets further. The 19th of June 2025 Archaeology Southwest piece warns of threats to public lands, implying political motives suppress indigenous or alternative histories. The unresolved mysteries persist. Elongated skulls from Malta and Peru, potentially suppressed as evidence of hybrid beings. OOPArts, like the Antikythera mechanism, dismissed as anomalies rather than proofs of advanced tech. A Medium article from the 15th of March 2024 ties Göbekli Tepe and Puma Punku to underworld gates, suggesting science ignores spiritual dimensions. Ancient alien theories, debunked or proven, remain in limbo. As of the 1st of November 2024 Ancient-Origins.net piece questions their validity. This web of concealment raises profound questions. Are governments hiding extraterrestrial contacts or Nephilim legacies to prevent panic? Does science suppress alternatives to protect egos or funding? As in Hancock's works, criticized yet resonant, the truth may lie in the shadows. The 15th of February 2025 PDF of Fingerprints of the Gods analyzes sites like Giza and Puma Punku as advanced relics suppressed by orthodoxy. In reflecting, these cover-ups and mysteries form a mosaic of human curiosity stifled. From Giza's voids to Göbekli Tepe's restricted digs, the role of power in shaping history is undeniable. Yet, in the quiet of night we ponder, what if the suppressed truths hold keys to our future? To delve further, consider Baalbek's resilience amid conflict, perhaps a deliberate distraction from its giant-built foundations. At Stonehenge, funding biases toward conventional interpretations suppress alien theories. OOPArts, often relegated to museum basements, exemplify this. The Baghdad Battery's potential as an ancient power source ignored in favor of mundane explanations. The scientific community's role in suppression is evident in the labeling of alternative views as pseudoscience, as in Wikipedia's entry on pseudo-archaeology. This creates a chilling effect, where researchers like Hancock face ostracism, their ideas dismissed without fair debate. The 19th of January 2023 Kansas Alumni Magazine piece on Ancient Apocalypse highlights the consequences of such conspiracies, noting their danger in eroding trust. Government's involvement often ties to national pride or security. In Egypt, Zahi Hawass, former antiquities minister, has been accused of controlling narratives, downplaying non-Egyptian influences. In Turkey, Göbekli Tepe's excavations are state-funded, with findings curated to fit official histories. Bolivia's Puma Punku sees similar restrictions, artifacts exported or lost. These patterns suggest a concerted effort to maintain a linear history, suppressing evidence of advanced precursors or extraterrestrial aid. The Younger Dryas impact, potentially covered up to avoid panic over recurring cataclysms, links all sites as survivor legacies. In conclusion, the cover-ups and unresolved mysteries underscore a battle for truth. Governments and science, guardians of knowledge, may inadvertently or intentionally obscure the past. As the veil of night deepens and the stars wheel overhead in their eternal dance, we arrive at the culmination of our extraordinary odyssey through the shadowed corridors of history. Let us pause now, in this tranquil hour, to reflect upon the journey we have shared. We began beneath the Mediterranean sun, descending into the Hypogeum of Al-Saflieni, a subterranean sanctuary carved over 5 millennia ago. There, amid its labyrinthine passages and oracle chambers, we encountered the eerie resonance of 110 Hz frequencies, capable of altering consciousness and evoking visions of other realms. The elongated skulls, perhaps markers of a priestly class or evidence of cranial deformation, hinted at rituals that blurred the lines between the living and the divine. As we explored its architecture, the smooth walls, swirling ochre spirals, and hidden networks, we pondered whether this was merely a necropolis or a portal to dimensions unseen. Its acoustics a tool for shamanic journeys or communication with entities beyond. From Malta's depths, we ascended to the Turkish highlands, where Göbekli Tepe's T-shaped pillars stand as the oldest known monumental architecture, predating agriculture and settled societies. These 12,000-year-old sentinels, adorned with animal reliefs and abstract symbols, challenge the narrative of human progress, suggesting a sophisticated hunter-gatherer culture capable of astronomical observations and communal rituals. The vulture stone, interpreted as a record of a comet swarm during the Younger Dryas impact, transformed the site into a Doomsday chronicle, a warning etched in stone by survivors of a global cataclysm. Theories of fallen angels or extraterrestrial guides swirled around its deliberate burial, mirroring the concealment we sensed in other sites, a deliberate act to preserve knowledge for future generations. Crossing to Egypt, the pyramids of Giza rose before us, their geometric perfection embedding pi, the golden ratio, and Earth's dimensions in ways that defy coincidence. The Orion alignments, shafts pointing to ancient stars, and recent scans revealing hidden voids and corridors painted a picture of structures far beyond tombs, perhaps power plants harnessing electromagnetic energies or gateways for pharaonic souls. Beneath the plateau, a vast underground complex unfolded in 2025 discoveries, with tunnels and chambers suggesting a multi-layered purpose, tied to ancient technologies or suppressed histories. In Bolivia's Altiplano, Puma Punku's andesite blocks, cut with impossible precision and interlocking joints, evoked images of assembly lines or alien workshops. Legends of Viracocha, a post-flood creator, paralleled biblical tales, linking the site's destruction to cataclysms like those at Göbekli Tepe. Baalbek's trilithon, with stones rivaling mountains, whispered of Nephilim giants, its foundations a potential landing pad or divine stronghold. Stonehenge's blue stones, hauled from distant Wales, aligned with solstices, suggesting a healing circle or astronomical calculator, while OOPArts, like the Antikythera mechanism and Baghdad battery, hinted at lost inventions, perhaps taught by celestial visitors. Throughout, conspiracy theories wove a unifying narrative: ancient aliens as fallen angels, Anunnaki as watchers, shaping humanity through forbidden knowledge. From Enoch's apocryphal texts to Sumerian myths, these beings explained the out-of-time feats, precision, engineering, astronomical prowess, and energy harnessing. Governments and science as gatekeepers were accused of suppression, delaying excavations or dismissing alternatives to maintain control. Yet, in the quiet of our exploration, these veils only heightened the allure, inviting us to question and dream. This journey, dear listeners, has not been merely a recounting of facts but an invitation to the soul's deepest curiosities. Each site, from Hypogeum's echoes to Giza's energies, reminds us that history is a living entity, full of gaps where imagination flourishes. The Younger Dryas impact, tying cataclysms to survivor sites, suggests cycles of destruction and rebirth, warnings etched in stone for our era of uncertainty. Elongated skulls, across continents, hint at hybrid lineages or ritual modifications, connecting Malta to Peru in a web of ancient practices. As we conclude, consider the implications. If these wonders stem from extraterrestrial or divine intervention, what does that mean for us? Are we descendants of stars, guardians of forgotten wisdom? The suppression, whether real or perceived, underscores humanity's fear of the unknown, yet it also ignites the spark of discovery. In 2025, with new scans at Giza and debates over Göbekli Tepe's prophecies, the veil thins, promising revelations that could reshape our world. But now, as the hour grows late and the cosmos watches, I extend a heartfelt invitation for our next adventure. Subscribe to Mystery History for Sleep, hit that notification bell, and join me in future episodes where we'll uncover more veiled truths from Atlantis' sunken secrets to the Voynich manuscript's undeciphered codes. Share your thoughts in the comments. What mystery calls to you most? Together, we'll traverse the unknown, one whisper at a time. Let us revisit key moments. In the Hypogeum, the Oracle Room's vibrations evoke trance states, perhaps portals for shamanic visions, tying to Stonehenge's acoustic properties, where chants might have resonated under solstice skies. Göbekli Tepe's burial, like Puma Punku's scattering, suggests deliberate acts post-catastrophe, preserving knowledge from prying eyes or future floods. Giza's voids, revealed in 2025 scans, mirror Baalbek's quarry giants, both defying logistics without advanced aid. The OOPArts, from Antikythera's gears predicting eclipses to Baghdad's potential batteries, serve as breadcrumbs, linking to theories of watchers teaching metallurgy and astronomy. Biblical fallen angels, descending at Mount Hermon near Baalbek, could explain the site's scale, while Anunnaki gold mining in Sumer parallels Puma Punku's precision, perhaps for spacecraft or energy devices. Suppression's hand is evident, Egyptian officials delaying Giza explorations, Turkish controls at Göbekli Tepe, Bolivian artifacts vanishing. Science's dismissal of Hancock as pseudoscience ignores evidence like Younger Dryas nanodiamonds, potentially hiding cataclysmic truths to avoid societal upheaval. Yet, hope glimmers in independent research and digital sharing. 2025's discoveries, from Giza's underground city to Stonehenge's Welsh cows, chip away at barriers, inviting us to question authority and seek our own truths. In this grand mosaic, humanity's story is richer, infused with divine or alien sparks. I cherish sharing these tales, hoping they inspire wonder in your waking hours and serenity in sleep. Let us anticipate our next chapter, perhaps the Nazca Line's geoglyphs, etched for aerial viewers, or Easter Island's moai, guardians of Pacific secrets. Subscribe and join the adventure. Good night.